step into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Morning, you beautiful people. It's the first Thursday where we wake you up bright and early and kickstart your day. Welcome aboard. Of course, my name is Raul Demoni, taking you through this epic magic episode. And of course, it's Talk Thursdays here on Expresso. And we're going to be exploring all the gadgets that Tony Stark had that were actually invented in the real life movie. And we're going to be exploring a VR experience of Iron Man himself. And then, obviously, rolling all the way to social media, where we're asking you viewers at home this morning, of course, what is the most expensive piece of tech that you own? I think for a lot of us, it's definitely going to be a cell phone. I know we carry those things with so much pride and joy. It's pretty much like our lifeline, but I'm pretty sure that the rest of you out there have something a little bit more expensive. Jamie, what do you say? What's the most expensive piece of equipment that you
I just woke up. Hi, everybody. It's 6 a.m. I can't believe it. How do you feel waking up so early this morning?
I'm actually prepared. I'm normally getting geared up for the mountain this time, so I've got my hi-ho, it's off to the mountain we go, spirits. I'm ready.
Bring that energy. Please bring that energy.
How was it waking up so early?
I wake up at 3:45 in the morning. It's been a luxury for lockdown, waking up at 4:45. It's a whole hour difference, but I'm here. I made it, guys. We are here. But you asked me a question.
I asked you what's the most expensive piece of tech that you have, and I'm assuming it's not an alarm this morning, right?
Wow, with the shades early in the morning. Probably my phone, the Galaxy S20. That is probably the most expensive thing. I'm not a techie person, but I don't know. What about you?
Well, I mentioned to the guys, it's definitely my piece of cell phone or my camera gear just to record all the magic in the mountain. But of course, guys, let us know on social media. But over to the news with Kat. Let's see what's cooking.
Well, it is 2 minutes past the hour on this Wednesday morning. Let's quickly take a look, rather Thursday morning. Let's take a look at the news headlines. On the national news front, Health Minister Zweli Mkhize says the COVID-19 storm that he's been warning South Africans of has arrived. Mkhize delivered an executive statement to the National Assembly yesterday to give MPs an update on the government's response to the pandemic and its risk-adjusted strategy. His statement comes as infections in the country have passed the 224,625 mark, with more than 3,600 deaths. The minister confirmed that a total of 20 million people had been screened across the country. Almost 2 million people have been tested. Now, the Public Enterprise Department has welcomed the National Union of Metal Workers of South Africa and the South African Cabin Crew Association's decision to accept voluntary severance packages at South African Airways as a step in the right direction. SAA is currently under business rescue with over 2,700 workers at risk of losing their jobs. The SA Pilots Association is still mulling over the deal. Meanwhile, the Public Enterprises Minister has urged SAA creditors, employees and all others involved to vote in favour of a revised business rescue plan on Tuesday. Let's take a look at international news. A group of men who operated a self-proclaimed internet addiction treatment facility in China have been imprisoned after being found guilty of locking children in solitary isolation for 10 days. Now, the facility is one of several hundred boot camp-style detox centers amid rising concerns about the time young people spend online. China fears young people are addicted to video games, and minors have now been banned from playing games between 10 p.m. and 8 a.m. They are only allowed an hour and a half on weekdays and 3 hours during the weekends. In other news, Nigeria resumed domestic flights yesterday after a break of some 3 months as Africa's most populous country relaxes restrictions aimed at curbing the spread of COVID-19. The resumption of flights is the latest step by the government to reopen Africa's largest economy, which has also been hit hard by low oil prices. Meanwhile, in Kenya, it was yesterday confirmed that primary and secondary school pupils would only return to class next year in January, as the school year was considered lost because of the coronavirus pandemic. And now encouraging news of a major development at a Gauteng university. Amidst the worsening COVID-19 pandemic and looming ventilator shortages in South Africa comes the news that engineers at the University of Johannesburg, or UJ, have designed and developed a 3D printed mechanical ventilator able to support multiple patients. Now, the ventilator, named Aura Imprimere, is not only portable but also allows for off-grid operations for up to 1.5 hours. It also has a customizable base plate to treat multiple patients. Professor Tien Jen, head of UJ's Mechanical Engineering Science Department and the project team leader, said the ventilators were ready and safe to operate. He said the unique 3D printable ventilators use a microcontroller to control the operation of the two motors. By adjusting the speed and direction of rotation of the motors, it is possible to obtain a pressure time profile that is suitable for respiratory assistance of patients. Jen added that the ventilator's battery system will also ensure normal functioning when the demand for electricity exceeded the available supply. And finally, turning our gaze to the world of entertainment this morning, taking a quick look now at what is happening. The fastest man in the world, Jamaican Olympic sprinter Usain Bolt, has become a father for the fast time, if you will. The current 100-meter sprint world record holder took to Instagram on Tuesday to share pictures of his newborn daughter, creatively named Olympia Lightning Bolt. Now, the pictures also depict a magnificent-looking Cassie Bennett, Bolt's girlfriend, and Olympia's mother, adorned in a champagne-colored gown. Usain's Instagram post also wished Cassie a happy 21st birthday as they embark on their new chapter of parenthood together. He wrote, "I want nothing but happiness for you and will continue to do my best to keep a smile on your face." Well, on that very happy note, especially in the sporting world, let's take a look at the sporting headlines. We kick things off with footballing news, and newly crowned English Premier League champions Liverpool claimed a 3-1 win over Brighton at an empty American Express Community Stadium, and former champions Manchester City returned to winning ways after easing past Newcastle 5-0 at the Etihad Stadium last night. A brace by Liverpool star player Mohamed Salah helped secure the win for the Reds. And Premier League action will continue this evening with Bournemouth up against Tottenham Hotspur and Aston Villa welcoming Manchester United to Villa Park. In cricket news, international cricket returned to test format yesterday with England up against the West Indies at the Ageas Bowl in Southampton. Rain, however, stopped play after only 17.4 overs. Now, the home side, led by Ben Stokes for the very first time, lost Dom Sibley for 0 with Windies bowler Shannon Gabriel at the charge. Now, play ended with England on 35 for 1. Day 2 action is scheduled to take place from 12 p.m. this afternoon. In motorsporting news, two-time Formula One world champion Fernando Alonso will make his return to the sport after receiving an offer to compete with Renault. Now, the 39-year-old Spaniard who won his 2 world champions with Renault in 2005 and 2016. Now, he will replace Daniel Ricciardo, who is moving to McLaren and will partner with Esteban Ocon. Alonso has signed with Renault for at least 2 years and can look to race them beyond that. Well, that is news from the sporting world. Right now, let's take a first look at the weather for the day. And here's Jamie Lee.
Thank you so much, Kat. Let me start off by saying a happy Thursday to all of you. We've asked you to send through your sunrise pictures this morning. Now, a friend of Expresso, Father Khan, wishes us a good morning with yet another gorgeous sunrise picture from Richards Bay in KwaZulu-Natal. Now, Richards Bay can expect breezy conditions with plenty of sunshine today, reaching a high of 26 degrees. We've also received a sunrise picture from Numbulelo Zandile Gama. Now, her sunrise picture shows us the sun rising in the distance, taken in Soweto in the Gauteng region. Now, Soweto can expect intervals of clouds and sunshine, reaching a high of 16 degrees today. Thank you to both Father and Numbulelo for sending through your sunrise pictures. We hope you'll have an awesome start to your Thursday morning. Now, the colossal cold front that has developed in the South Atlantic is making landfall in the Western Cape this morning. It has strengthened strengthened substantially in the past few days and is reported to make for one of the most eventful winter weekends in South Africa in many years. Hard downpours, which could cause flooding, are forecasted, and a significant amount of snowfall, even disruptive in parts, appears most likely from tonight or the early hours of tomorrow morning for the Western, Eastern and Northern Cape, KwaZulu-Natal and even Lesotho. Now, gale force winds of between 70 kilometers per hour and 90 kilometers per hour are expected. So, ladies, you do want to hold on to those eyelashes today. Now, the South African Weather Service has warned of heavy rains, strong winds and cold conditions for most parts of the country today. But right now, let's take a look at the temperatures for the rest of the country. For you, Polokwane, low morning clouds are expected with a low of 8, peaking at 19 degrees. Umbombela, your range is 11 to 26. Pretoria, 9, 21. And then times of clouds and sunshine expected for Johannesburg today with a minimum temperature of 7, peaking at 20. Partly sunny and breezy conditions for Mahikeng with a minimum temperature of 9, peaking at 20. Klerksdorp, 8, 20. And then breezy with plenty of sunshine can be found in Kimberley with a low of 10 and a high of 22. Bloemfontein, 2, 20. Richards Bay, your low is 18 with a high of 26. And then a fresh northwesterly breeze of 32 kilometers per hour can be expected for Pietermaritzburg with a low of 10 and a high of 26. Sunny and windy conditions expected for South Africa's playground today. Durban with a low of 14 and a high of 26. Mthatha, 8, 26. And then sun followed by clouds and a fresh northerly breeze of 33 kilometers per hour expected for you East London, ranging from 16 to 28 degrees. Cradock, 13, 25. And then windy and warmer with intervals of clouds and sunshine expected for Port Elizabeth with a low of 15, peaking at 29. George, 10, 27. And then windy with periods of heavy rainfall expected for the mother city Cape Town today, ranging from 10 to 16 degrees. Worcester, 8, 17. And then a strong northwesterly breeze of 48 kilometers per hour expected for you Sutherland with a low of 3, peaking at 16. And then last but definitely not least, Uppington, your low is 9, peaking at 26. But of course, whatever the weather, wherever you find yourself on this beautiful Thursday, make it count.
What a beautiful Thursday it is indeed, Jamie. Thank you so much. But I must say, it's getting rather nippy out in Cape Town. The cold front is kicking in. But don't worry, guys, I've got a perfect hack for you this morning. So why don't you take your Super M moment, and what I'm going to do right here is turn things up a little bit, and I'm taking my Super M. I'm going to pop it into the microwave and get that perfect Super M warm filler. And all we got to do is pop it in the micro. I'm going to go for 30 seconds. Let's check it out. And voila, I'm sorting my morning out perfectly. Kat, how about you? How's it going over there?
This is exactly what I needed to start off the morning. Cold front on the way over the weekend. Get your Super M ready for the weekend and warm it up a little bit. Just ensure that you stay warm and nice and safe as we endure these cold temperatures. Now, we may only perceive our existence within the limitations of our own daily lives, right? Sit down, please. We're sharing some good words this morning. And we're talking about the perception that we have of life in our daily lives. But indeed, our world and our universe are both so expansive. And that is, it's actually taken thousands and thousands of years and thousands over time to try to comprehend just what is going on out there. You know, our belonging in the great circle of life and where we fit into the big picture. And someone who made it his mission to understand physics and cosmology as well as much as possible is, of course, none other than one of the most famed names in the world of science, in Stephen Hawking. I'm sure you might have heard that name before.
Our great pioneer and psychonaut into the great abyss that we all have come from. I think the guy has really just invoked so much wonder and mystery within us. And I think it's what's causing us to always pursue so much more. But this is what he had to say, Kat. He says, remember to look up at the stars and not down at your feet. Try to make sense of what you see and wonder about what makes sense or what makes the universe exist. Be curious, and of course, however difficult life may seem, there is always something you can do and succeed at. It matters that you just don't give up.
Wow.
Isn't that not?
That is a very, very, I mean, just in general, not even just about, what he says. that you don't give up. In so many situations in life, I feel like a lot of people just give up on themselves and they feel like they can't carry on. But you know that the fact that there's still breath in your lungs means that there's still a reason and a purpose why you're here. So don't give up on that. Continue to pursue that, and we hope that that certainly does inspire you as we start off this morning. Let it inspire you with boundless curiosity, you know, finding the wonders out there in the world.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Happy birthday, a very happy birthday to you.
Yeah, welcome back to it. It is your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso. We're live on SABC3. When you hear that tune, you know what time it is. Get up and dance, get up and celebrate, because it's somebody's birthday out there, and it's time for us to wish you, or our loyal and loved viewers, a very, very happy birthday. And today, you share it with none other than Jamie Bartlett, who turns 55 years old today. And of course, Jamie is considered as one of those great actors in South Africa. I mean, really wonderful. He is well known for his wicked role as David Gennaro on Rhythm City. Remember him? And of course, for those who don't know, he was the first person to speak in scene 1 of the popular TV series Isidingo as the character Mike O'Reilly. Wow, what a throwback. And we hope to see him back on our TV screens soon. Happy birthday, Mr. Jamie Bartlett.
Absolutely. It feels like a throwback Thursday because I literally grew up with him in our house every single day.
Same here.
Right now, it's time for the real celebrities, you at home. This one reads, happy 23rd birthday to my son, Clinton. May you be blessed with many more years. Lots of love from your mom, Debbie. Okay, Clinton, we see you coming through this morning. And then a happy 40th birthday to Francois Stale. May God keep holding your hand and protecting you every single day. Thank you for everything. This comes from your mother and father-in-law, your mother, and the rest of the family. They love you so much.
And then we have a 17th birthday in the house today. Happy 17th birthday to my friend, Karabo Glorious Mabusa. You bring the best out in all of us. Love from Vanessa, Divine, Amanda, and Dumelo. And then Erin is 7 today. Happy 7th birthday to our baby, Erin Stradum. More life to you from your mummy and your daddy. We love you lots, Erin. So cute this morning. Beautiful.
And then a 10th birthday coming through to our amazing boy, Quaid Jacobs, aka QJ on fire. Yes, that is his name, QJ on fire. Sending our love to you on your special special day. Enjoy every moment. Love from Pa, Ma, and Auntie Lam. They love you so much. And then happy 24th birthday to my friend Lungiswa, Park Station Sekiso. This is a day of celebration, not only because of your special day, it is also the day we give thanks for having you in our lives. You are a true blessing, and this comes from Umpinti Sheets.
Oh, Batate Park Station. And then on this day of happiness and joy, we wish Sima a very, very happy birthday. We wish you a lifetime full of success, because a person as amazing as you are deserves all their dreams to come true. Happy 32nd birthday to you, Sima Mahlanyana. Happy birthday, everybody. A bunch of really, really good-looking viewers we've got on the show, and of course celebrating their birthday, and I'm sure today will be a beautiful one for you all.
Of course, and if you'd like to send your loved one a birthday message, do so by sending us your birthday videos to 071 640 6551, or better yet, email your wishes to birthdays@cordova.tv. Perhaps you'd want to celebrate with a triple chocolate pudding, or maybe just a cup of Super M.
Well, a cup of Super M, is that an offer or a challenge? An offer.
Now this morning, of course, we're asking you once again to do a good thing, and that is, of course, the Woolies gift of the givers, and they're aiming to donate 1 million food parcels to families in need, and thanks to your support, we are getting closer and closer and closer by the day. Now today, of course, we are also heading into the kitchen, and we're getting involved, so just scan the QR code on your screens right now, and you can also use SnapScan app or your banking app to make your donation to this epic cause. And there's really no amount too small, or as little as 10 Rand can help an associate and provide any person with 3 meals for the day. That's right, 10 Rand gets you 3 entire meals for the day. So remember to encourage your family, friends, your neighbors, colleagues, and of course your chat groups to get involved and do the same thing. Get donating, guys. You've seen how well we are doing already. And of course, one thing that is really good and incredible for winter, and the best thing that we love so much is that the fact of us being allowed to enjoy oozy winter puddings. I cannot wait. So what about a modern, over-the-top, triple choc pudding for my people? Now it's easy, it's oozy, and it's absolutely delicious. And of course, Chef Clem is showing us how. Clem, how are we doing this morning, bright and early in the kitchen?
I know.
Hey?
We're flipping the script a little bit. We're doing the sweet stuff first because we want to say thank you to our viewers for joining us at 6 o'clock in the morning.
I also want to say to the viewers out there, get involved right now with this pudding, because it's the perfect treat to entice you and set you up for the end
Really?
of the day. Yeah,
Can
man.
we say that?
I
like it.
I make a pudding for the end of the day, Clem, and especially I'm ready to exercise and stuff, and my incentive and reward is the fact
Okay,
that
cool. I like that. So let's talk about what I've got going on here. I've got some milk in here, and I've added some of these little lint balls in there. These are the 60% ones. They're going to go in, and they're just melting away, doing their thing. To that, I'm going to add some butter, and that's going to make it beautifully rich.
Hey, chocolate and butter, come on.
Best friends.
That's enough as it is already.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it's the Woolworths Chocolate Festival right now, so there's never been a better time.
Excuse me?
The Woolworths Chocolate Festival?
The what? What?
Right.
What?
What?
Everybody has their kryptonite.
Okay, so.
All right, and now you're talking my language, my friend.
So,
tell me more. What's going on here?
30% off any 3 selected chocolates right now. Okay. So you can go crazy and try all our chocolate recipes, because there's never been a better time to just build up that pile of chocolate in your house and just try all our chocolate recipes. So go to Woolworths, check them out. This is one amazing recipe where you can just load in the chocolate and just enjoy that beautiful cocoa flavor. I'm just it's amazing.
Naughty. Look,
it's amazing.
It's like my birthday month, so I'm gonna just jump on that bandwagon along with everybody else out there that's sharing their birthdays this month. And of course, we are deep into winter. We've made it through some storms, my man, and we're ready for some more. So I think this is the push.
For sure. So make this one before the cold front hits, because you can, just have it there. The thing about this dish is actually it tastes better the next day.
Okay.
There's something about this beautiful
so maybe
pudding.
2 is what you're saying.
Yes. Okay. So I've got some self-raising flour here, and I've added some caster sugar to it. Then I've added a little bit of brown sugar. So I'm mixing my sugars, because that caster sugar is going to give us a beautiful sweetness that we like. That's going to actually bring out some of the flavor of the chocolate, and then that brown sugar makes it a little dense, a little more fudgy. So you get that. You can see this is a very fudgy pudding, right?
I see, so
cool.
Yeah.
To that, some more cocoa flavor. That's going to get some beautiful cocoa going in. That's going to give that dark chocolate flavor.
Clem, just a quick question. Is there a reality that exists where you can add too much chocolate?
No.
No?
No.
Wow.
I mean, no.
We've got him, peeps. We stumped the chef.
There's no recipe at all. You can just go crazy with chocolate. Okay.
I think everybody at home is just like this. Yeah, Yes!
South Africa, you just go chocolate crazy. You just go, just add it all. Okay, a bit of salt. My rule is whenever you work with chocolate, even like right now in this pudding, always add salt, even in the chocolate milks. It just brings out the flavor of the cocoa. So let's see what's happening here. So our beautiful chocolate and butter has melted together with that milk. This is a very simple pudding because, like as you can see, it's very few ingredients, but it comes together so well. And all you're gonna do now is
So quickly, you had that on for like 30 seconds to a minute only, and it's already popping, ready to
Yeah,
go.
absolutely. I mean, there's this beautiful problem that says chocolate melts in the hand of a child, not on a stove. That just lets you know how quickly chocolate melts. So it's so quick. Don't need to be like
I
super
literally
aggressive
had
with
that
it.
yesterday. I had some chocolate. I'm gonna reveal a dirty little secret. I had some chuckles last night in my popcorn while watching a little flick, and
A little flick.
exactly that happened.
It wasn't maybe this.
melted like popcorn in my hand, and it was good. It was good. We worked hard. We earned it.
You were maybe watching that show that stars Raul de Mornay. That one? That show? No, it wasn't. Maybe. Okay. So you just mix it through. I like keeping a little bit of, like, I add the chocolate in there. I don't melt the chocolate all the way through because I like a little bit of the lumps of chocolate in there. That's just like, you know, it's going to melt through, become delicious. So you get your beautiful, beautiful lined bacon tin. But you know what? It's golden brown and delicious. You know what that means, right?
Oh, what does that mean, Clem?
You don't know what that
I
means?
don't know what that means.
If it's delicious and brown, you must get down.
Oh yes, are we ready for these moments?
Are you ready for this?
Wow.
Are we even allowed to get down before 7 a.m.? Katlego says yes. Katlego says yes. It's not 7 o'clock, but we're getting down. It's okay, South Africa. We're doing this. We do this for you. Okay. That. Thank you very much, Mr. DJ. Thank you. That would be done, right? That would be done. That would literally be enough chocolate for everyone. But we're not done.
We are not done.
We're not
Guys,
done.
we are not even done. Before we do finish though, make sure you head over to theexpressoshow.com for some more of this chocolate infusion recipe festival vibe. It's 30% off everything at Woolies. I think it's any 3 chocolates, so you've got no excuse to pile it on. And clearly, the man was not done. What are you throwing in there now?
These are the chocolate. This is more dark chocolate. I love the flavor of dark chocolate that's going in there. I was gonna like put them down so they don't burn while they're in the oven. It's gonna just melt and ooze in there. And because it's early in the morning, you need your cup of coffee. Here's something crazy.
Wow.
You pour that
wow.
coffee over, and then you bake it. And the coffee soaks into this pudding. It comes out looking delicious like this. All you gotta do then, hit it with some more chocolate, some cocoa coming through. Yeah. South Africa, if you start to do it like this, it's only gonna, the only way is up. The only way is up. A little bit of cream. You know what? Just get at it. Just get at it. Just. Then, you know, Raul, because you mentioned the chuckles.
I'm speechless. Clem.
It's just a little snack. A little snack. To get you ready for.
Right now, I think everybody that is allergic to chocolate has officially turned their screens off. They've run away. If people like that even exist, I do pray for you. But for the rest of everybody out there, I think the salivation has just gone all the way down to the floor. I hope you're enjoying that trip, guys. This is your perfect winter infusion. Clem, well done, man. You've got me excited. I'm going to work out twice today just for this. Oh, guys, this is it. It's an incredible pudding. It's done by Clem. We've infused everything chocolate into it, and we've, of course, jumped on that chocolate festival. But check out the recipe recap now.
Show.
Welcome back. It is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso. We're live on SABC3, back on our time slot of 6 to 9 o'clock. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. Now it's time for us to discuss some tech. We know that you can experience some of the thrills that go with flying in Marvel's Iron Man suit in the Iron Man virtual reality game. But did you know that some of the tech that Tony Stark invented in the Marvel universe is actually real? It's real. And Grant Hines joins us this morning to unpack all of that and upload as he will.
Look, I get really excited because this is one of the things about science fiction, which is amazing. So obviously a lot of things in science fiction are made up, and people use it. We use our imagination.
They don't exist.
They don't exist, but sometimes they inspire real-world technology, which is really cool. And I know everybody out there is going to say like, "Oh, Elon Musk." I've purposely left a lot of Elon Musk stuff out of this, because there's technology that exists that you might not know of. And if you guys are into Marvel and are into Marvel fandom, this might help you out. So the first thing obviously is the flying, right? Like Iron Man can fly around the world, like on a huge suit. One of the biggest problems with that in real life is that it's charged in the center of his chest with a battery cell. You don't get battery cells like that yet. One day there will be battery cells.
We haven't got there quite yet.
No, we won't have to charge our phone for like a whole year. That's the kind of technology that I want. But anyway, so there is a guy that's developed a jet thruster suit, and that jet thruster suit doesn't quite have the same.
No ways, no. I'm seeing the footage there.
It doesn't have, but you can see it doesn't have quite the same length, but it's also in the beginning stages, and obviously it can be a little bit dangerous because you're unprotected. It's not like a comic book movie. But the idea of having a suit that you can put on and fly with
is quite something.
Right? Imagine going to work in the morning.
Well,
guys, another thing that you guys don't know about Tabiso is that he's late for work sometimes, at the show. And see, people are laughing, they know. And if you had a jet thruster suit...
That is a lie. That is a lie. That is a lie. A lie.
Okay. We'll
a lie.
We'll move on to the next thing. Okay, the next thing is Tony Stark's robot army. Now, I don't think we're going to get to a stage where we're going to have a whole army of robots.
What have they done so far?
Okay, what they've done so far is they've created exoskeleton suits for soldiers to complete different tasks. And it's called Talos. And the whole reason behind this is not only to, to give soldiers extra amount of strength or whatever, but to complete other tasks. So if you are a medic, for instance, in battle, you might want to get into a situation a little faster and a little more effectively with the suit. You might be able to carry people a lot faster out of any given situation. So that's what these robot armies are for. And as you can see, like in the joints and stuff, it'll help you with load bearing and being able to maneuver around a battlefield really easily and really comfortably.
Well, you've got my imagination running wild. Just the sheer thought that these things are happening, people are constantly working on these things and bringing them to life is quite something. But what about the Shield heli-carrier? Because I think that is quite something.
Okay, so if you grew up in South Africa, like, when I did, I'm old now.
Which is where?
90s. There was, I don't know if you ever watched the Spider-Man series. The Shield helicarrier was a big part of the Spider-Man series. And it was this massive helicarrier and it's in the movies actually, where this is how old I am. I'm like talking about the cartoon show. Where all the ships can go through. It's kind of like an airship carrier, but in the sky. We don't quite have that technology yet to like fly in the sky and keep a whole bunch of planes on top of it.
Just like hang out there.
You want a battleship in the water, right?
Yeah.
But this kind of like turns it up because you can have a control center in the sky. So a plane that is dedicated and is geared and kitted out, not necessarily for warfare or for combat, but it's basically like a fancy office that you can travel around the world with, if you think about it, you know what I mean? So that's really cool. And that really exists because then you can go in with a fleet of aircraft and be able to use it as your control center, as your control hub, which is really cool.
I'm mind blown. I am. Jarvis.
Okay, well, Jarvis obviously is the artificial intelligence the really amazing artificial intelligence that Tony Stark has developed that he can talk to and do tasks and even like compete with. Well, on our phones, like on our Samsung devices, we've got stuff like Bixby. Yeah, exactly. So Bixby, you can already start machine learning with voices and give voice instructions.
And it's so efficient.
It's so efficient. And now with Internet of Things, if you've got a whole house full of technology, you can say, when I get home at 6 o'clock, start preheating the oven. you know, and stuff like that kind of technology is starting to happen, which is really exciting. So I can only imagine what those Jarvis, those personal voice assistants are going to be like in 5 or 10 years' time. But obviously in the Marvel Universe, Jarvis becomes like a physical character, and not just a voice over like in the Iron Man movies when he moves into the Avenger films. So I don't think we're going to have Bigsby the character like walk around, flying around the house.
At this rate, it seems like all of these things we think we can't have just yet are pretty much around the corner.
But I'm going to get you that suit.
But I think you should, just for me when I go to the mall, not for any other reason.
You just want to impress people.
Just for when I go to the mall and I'm struggling to find parking, then I know I just like land and walk in with it, I guess. Hulkbuster.
Okay, so the Hulkbuster suit, obviously in Avengers, is this massive Iron Man suit that's used to, you know, take on the Hulk, because the Hulk is like super strong, and he needs to like challenge the Hulk. But there are suits that exist right now for Hulk busting like technology. So you might want to do some think of Avatar, when the Avatar series, where there are those huge mechs which cut down trees and offload lumber.
And someone's like manually sort of controlling it from somewhere.
Yes, like a control pit. And it's kind of like the Hulkbuster suit is kind of like that. That's pretty much the closest thing. There's going to be a lot of tasks that we're going to have to achieve using robotics that require a much bigger, much better heavy loading than just an exoskeleton like we've seen with the Robot Army example, with the Talos stuff. So that technology is really imminent. It's used now. It's going to be used in industries, from offloading freights on ships to the lumber industry to mining, and it's just the start. And a lot of these things are inspired by the Marvel Universe.
By the Marvel Universe, the amazing amount of work that is being done in the tech space that's so inspiring and showing us what the future could potentially look like. Grant Hines, you are a superstar. You really got me excited and I'm buzzing so much right now.
Come on, I want to go watch some superhero movies.
My head's spinning. But from exploring the tech of Iron Man to finding out what's happening in the superhero, or rather with this superhero comes to life in the VR gaming with Gareth Woods and Katleho.
This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, right here on SABC3. Now, just when we thought that we'd seen the last of Iron Man in Avengers Endgame, fans of the Marvel franchise are now able to play as Earth's favorite Avenger in the PS4 exclusive Iron Man VR. Our gaming guru, Gareth Woods, joins us to tell us a little bit more about this and how he's been enjoying playing as Iron Man. Gareth, how are you doing this morning?
I'm good, although are you allowed to start with a spoiler like that? I mean, what if someone hasn't watched Endgame yet?
Oh, well, sorry about that. If you've watched it, you can rewind and pretend you didn't see it. But listen, you've had a little bit of a crack at the game. Tell me what it's like being Iron Man in virtual reality.
Yeah, it's really cool. I have to be honest, it's one of those games where, I don't know, we've spoken about VR in the sense before, where like you really feel like you're in the character's role. They've really nailed that. So you really get to feel what it's like to be the super powerful like Iron Man, but at the same time to be this incredibly rich Tony Stark as well, and with all these toys and gadgets he's got at home. They've really done a great job.
How did you execute this? Was it at home? Where were you when you were testing out the game?
Yeah. So I've got a setup at home with the PlayStation VR, and it uses the wands that come with the PlayStation VR kind of setup. And what I think they've done really well is, I'm sure you've experienced in some of maybe older VR games, is often it loses track of where you are, you know, then you've got to like resettle and wait for the camera to pick you up. And I think I lost like track of my character maybe once or twice in my entire playthrough. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of opportunities for, you think, the camera to lose track of where you are.
Yeah.
They've really, the tech has really improved tremendously to be able to like avoid that.
Yeah. So one thing that's really cool about this game, what I understand, is that they've been able to separate the two characters, that being Tony Stark and, of course, his alter ego, Iron Man, and develop really cool storylines for each of them so that you can explore their worlds, you know, differently. So tell me about what that was like.
Yeah, look, so to be honest, most of the action happens when you Iron Man, you know, in the suit. But there's a fair amount of the gameplay and most of the narrative of the story is driven through when you are as Tony Stark. You know, you walk around his mansion, his house, and you can interact with certain things. It's nothing we haven't seen in VR games before. You know, like you can pick up a bottle, you can interact with objects in his house. Yeah. But generally, most of the action and the fun happens as Iron Man. Yeah. It's just really, it helps from a change of pacing, which is great.
So as with the comic books, with the movies, the storyline is very important. So what's the storyline in this particular game?
So So without giving out too much away, Tony Stark he's had this history as a bit of a warmonger, designing weapons and stuff in the past, and now that past has sort of come back to haunt him with the kind of bad guy of the game being Ghost, which is one of the lesser known sort of bad guys in the kind of Iron Man story arc. And so, essentially they are using his tech against him, and he's kind of trying to stop it.
So let me ask you this then, Gareth. How does Iron Man VR compare to other VR games that are currently available on the market, would you say?
Yeah, look, it's definitely a step forward in terms of VR games. I think it's shown how far VR has come. I mean, I'm somebody who's playing VR a long time, when it was basically you as a triangle fighting other triangles. So to have the feeling that you're legitimately Iron Man, you get the feeling of, going 100 miles an hour with your rockets, you're shooting lasers and all that. It's super, super immersive. If anything, the only problem really is the tech from the PS point of view holds it back a little bit. So it's a great game, but it's things like the load times, they're fairly frequent and they're quite long.
Yeah.
And I suppose in that sense, it's the pinnacle in the life cycle of the PlayStation. We know the PlayStation 5 is coming. We know the latest Xboxes are coming. So the tech is going to leap forward. But I feel that the developers are really squeezing the console to get the most out of it.
Yeah.
And I guess where it shows is how long the load times are.
So if I had to put you on the spot and say Spider-Man 2008 versus Iron Man VR 2020, which one wins?
Okay, so the difference is that Spider-Man is a game. It's designed and it utilizes all the aspects of gameplay without almost being held back by the need to be VR.
Okay.
So Iron Man is a better VR game, obviously, because Iron Man's better VR because Spider-Man's not VR. But I think Spider-Man is a better game overall.
Okay.
Because they've focused on the things that, the gameplay, the story, all that sort of stuff. Whereas I think Iron Man, the major focus was, can we make a super immersive Iron Man VR game? And they've succeeded in making a great VR game, but it obviously has then limitations. Like I said, the load time, the graphics aren't as good as you'd expect in a non-VR game. But definitely, if you're looking for a great VR game, this is pretty much one of the best ones I've played in a heck of a long time.
All right, cool. Gareth, thanks so much for your time and your perspective. Always cool to connect with you, man.
Cool, cheers.
Gareth Woods over there giving us the latest from the gaming world out there. And perhaps you've had a crack at Iron Man VR. Let us know what you think of the game and also what other games you are engaging with or playing right now on your consoles. As you heard Gareth, of course, talking about the release of the latest consoles that is very, very imminent, has resulted in a lot of excitement in the gaming world. So hashtag Expresso Show and let's chat.
Yes.
Yes, morning.
Morning.
How's it going, MJ?
Because
How you doing,
we could see you, but you couldn't see us. But now we connected. We have about a minute, I think, before we go into the interview. But you all set?
I'm all good. So, which one of you are getting sacrificed today? I didn't find out.
Not one of us. Probably the boys in the kitchen.
MJ, is this your mad science lab where you make all your sacrifice? See all these crazy things behind you.
I thought to give it a bit of a lab feel for the interview.
It looks cool. It looks very cool, man.
Awesome.
Okay, got it.
Okay, cool.
And though the truth may vary this... Are you usually up this time?
No.
Welcome to live TV.
So that's fun.
We have 15 seconds, yeah? It's my feel-good breakfast show. welcome back all you early risers. Thank you for choosing to wake up on the right side of bed this morning. Now, great news for all matric science learners. The Cape Town Science Centre has recently launched an online program that provides revision classes and resources for physical science nationwide. Get this, for absolutely free, everybody. That's amazing. Now, these online masterclasses are a collaboration between the Cape Town Science Centre, the Western Cape Education Department and Astron Energy. Now, the Science Centre's Education Manager, MJ Swartz, joins us to tell us more about this program. Good morning, MJ, and welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
It's so good having you in the studio, MJ. Now, I've got to ask, firstly, why do you feel it's so important to start these free online masterclasses?
Well, it became very apparent as the lockdown deepened that there was going to be an impact on both the time that matrics would get in the classroom and the pace of the curriculum. There's always been challenges when it comes to our physical science. And with that in mind, we wanted to come to the table and do something to really assist the matrics within this year. Something that COVID-19 can really make a person feel is very alone. And we don't want the matrics to feel that they're alone. But there really is a community of support out there for the matrics, that we're coming together, both industry and government and the Science Centre itself, to offer this masterclass really to make sure that there is intervention, enrichment and support where it is needed for our physical science matric learners.
MJ, I absolutely love that. Also just keeping the students stimulated at this time. But what exactly can science learners expect to get out of these masterclasses exactly?
So the masterclasses is quite an exciting format that we have. What we basically are doing is something like a tutoring program, but it's got a special twist to it. So there is lots of online content, but not a lot of it is interactive. And that's really our unique selling point, is that you cannot replace that live interaction that you get between a pupil and the teacher. And so in our live classes, we basically go in depth through the content. We help them to develop strategies on how to tackle difficult areas within the curriculum. We also try and demonstrate and bring the curriculum to life at the same time. And then we take all of this and we apply it to the matric exams. And we really show them how to understand the matric exams, how to answer the questions. So in the end, what the master class is really about is helping you master the content and the skills for the forthcoming exams.
MJ, that's absolutely brilliant. Now, let's say hypothetically I am a learner, I'm convinced I want to be a mad scientist and I want to get my science on. Where exactly can an interested learner sign up and get further details? And obviously also, how long will this course actually last?
So if you want to sign up, it is all free of charge. You can just go to the Cape Town Science Centre website. So that is just ctsc.org.za, and all the information on how to sign up is there. Alternatively, just give us a call and we'll always talk you through any assistance that you need. So that's just 021 300 3200. And ultimately, we are looking to walk this journey with matrics until the end of the year. We're going to walk them all the way to their matric exams. We were very lucky to have Astron Energy come on board, and they have helped us to already offer the whole of term 2's classes free of charge. We're going to be looking into carrying it on in term 3. And we're already talking with WCED about that. And basically, it is going to cover all the modules that will be examinable by the end of the year. So that's both physics and chemistry. And apart from the live lessons that we do, we've also developed these booklets that we are distributing freely that go with the master classes. So before the class, we actually send them a PDF of this booklet, and we have designed it so that it can be shared via WhatsApp or via email, social media platforms. So even if you have a challenge with data within the short term, we can still at least get you the booklet that summarizes everything that happens inside of the masterclass live sessions.
MJ Swartz, I really wish that you were with me in my matric class, because I think like science would be a whole much cooler and also just easier to understand. But thank you so much for your time this morning and just giving us knowledge about what the matriculants can expect with these free online classes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, MJ. Well, we all can talk all things science without doing a little science project of our own. Now, the rest of the team is standing by in the kitchen to learn something new.
Where are we now, Uncle Tabsy?
In the kitchen.
What are we about to do?
A science an experiment. What experiment?
A scientific experiment.
Scientific experiment.
Call it the iron oxide experiment. This is one of the things that you can expect to see on the online. Oh, there he is. MJ, you're still joining us here. So this is quite a wonderful thing that we're about to explore. Exactly what is this experiment demonstrating from a scientific point of view?
So what this is a bit of a preview for our Saturday masterclass, which is all about rates of reaction. Basically, how fast or how slow a chemical reaction can occur. And what you have there is steel wool. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a chemical reaction where we oxidize steel wool. In this case, it's by burning the steel wool. And we're able to burn it because we are utilizing basically increasing its surface area. So just like when we chew food, we increase the surface area so that it can digest quicker and more easily within our body. It's the same principle that is happening here with the steel wool.
Oh, you're taking me back to grading.
Great.
I love this so much. I love this so much.
Okay, obviously, as you would do with any sort of science experiment that involves some potential fire or smoke, because you want to make sure that safety first, and that's why I have brought my fire extinguisher from my car
From your car?
Okay, that's not from mine.
That's the first time you've ever picked up that fire extinguisher.
This is actually the first time. I didn't know how heavy it was. I didn't expect that. But we've got that there, and I've got my gloves on because we are working with steel wool here, and so we don't want any cuts or any pricks going on there. It's all about safety.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, MJ, as you've explained, we've got some steel wool that we've unraveled into a bowl. We're using a glass bowl, and together with that, we have a 9-volt battery. So what are we expecting to see, and how does the experiment work?
Well, what you do is you take the steel wool, you unravel it, and for lack of a better word, you fluff it out. And what science basically tells us is that for a chemical reaction to occur, it basically needs a bit of energy to get started. If there's any physical science listening, they will recognize the word activation energy.
Yes.
If you don't know that word, don't worry, it's still fine.
Catalyst, perhaps, the catalyst.
And what we're going to do is we're going to be putting in energy using a battery. So this is our form of energy. And the minute we put this energy into the steel wool, we are basically activating the chemical reaction. Now, any brand would work. And the minute we touch it to the steel wool, basically what is happening is chemical potential energy is going to change to electrical energy. And then we'll see what happens after that. There'll be another conversion.
And before you do that, Tubbsy, of course, you've got to just, for a safety point of view, check that the battery's working, so you've got to put it on your tongue. I'm kidding, Tubbsy. Just kidding.
I mean, I don't know much about science, but I'm sure that that's not how it works.
5 seconds.
You really are trying to get my blood. Okay, cool. So I'm going to do that now. Do I just throw it into the bowl, or do I touch it and then remove? Just confirming.
Touch the top and take it away.
All right, let's
now we look at it, see? So the 9-volt battery now activates the electric energy.
And you can pull it away.
Touch it at a few spots, and you can see it already starts. So right now, what exactly is happening? The electrical energy is going into the steel wool. And of course, is it because the steel wool has a low resistance?
Yes. Basically, for a lack of a better word, we are short-circuiting the wire. It's basically getting such a high resistance that it's overheating, and that heat basically begins to glow a bright red color. And basically, the heat allows the metal to react with the oxygen in the air. So we're getting a whole chemical reaction kick-started right there.
So you get the iron reacting with the oxygen mixing together, and then you get like iron oxide vibes
going on all over the bowl.
And it's an exothermic reaction, if I remember correctly, right?
That is correct. It is
how's
an
the
exothermic reaction, which means that it gives off heat.
Yes, exactly. There we go.
Well, that's it. That's
done well.
how it works.
You've done well.
This is so fascinating.
Right.
But it's also got me thinking how many times you've had to dispose of your steel wool in your kitchen.
Yeah.
And at the same time, maybe your remote control for your TV has sort
A
of run
9-volt
out,
battery?
Of batteries.
What
maybe
kind
not
of
maybe
remote
not
are you operating in your house, Ramsey?
Maybe not the battery for your remote control, but just like a battery like this.
Yeah,
It's like you want to throw it away. What you don't want to do then is maybe chuck it in the same bin
That
as
could
your
result-
steel wool.
that
Steel
could
wool,
result
because
in
that can
very dangerous fire.
cause a fire.
Yeah.
And if you don't have one of these fire extinguishers, you're in trouble, my friend.
Wow. MJ, this
Yeah.
is absolutely amazing. If I find some time, I might just sign up to your science classes and just kind of observe and learn and, relearn again. This is wonderful. Thank you very much for this demonstration.
Wonderful.
Look at that,
Anytime.
guys.
Thank you so much.
This is
We are creating iron oxide right here,
Right here.
before your very eyes.
In the kitchen
It's amazing.
bowl.
It's science.
You can make my day.
9-volt
Eh?
Well done.
Which one?
So much, MJ.
Thanks, MJ.
Oh, they don't.
There's 1.5 volts.
Well done.
Oh, this is 9. Okay.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
So check this out. We just did this very cool science experiment on your Feel Good Breakfast Show with MJ Swartz. He's from the
Yes.
Cape Town Science Centre. And did you see what happened there?
No, I did not
Actually, you
see.
can take that 9-volt battery. It's okay. It's
Okay.
It's safe. And you can just touch it onto the steel wool and you can see... No, you can touch it longer than that. It starts to react. It releases electrical energy into the wire of the steel wool, which has a very low resistance, and then starts to burn and fuses with the oxygen.
You sound like you know what you're talking about. Do you?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Just like a little.
You sound very smart this morning. I'm very, very proud of you, my friend.
Only this morning. Oh, God.
Like, and
Okay.
yeah, just this morning.
Thanks. Thanks. Anyway, let's get to see the news headlines of the morning. How cool is that?
It is.
Thank you very much, guys. Time for us to take a look at those news headlines at 8 o'clock here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We start off here at home in South Africa, where in the Western Cape, Premier Alan Winde has tested positive for COVID-19. He is the second Premier to contract COVID-19, the other being Northwest Premier Job Mokgoro. And Winde is self-isolating at home for 14 days, but said he would continue with meetings to coordinate the province's COVID-19 response. Mokgoro said he decided to check himself into hospital a day after he tested positive on Tuesday, although he only had mild symptoms. On Monday, Mokgoro lost one of his cabinet ministers, Gordon Gekgakilwe, to the pandemic. Health Minister Zweli Mkhize says the COVID-19 storm that he's been warning South Africans of has arrived. Mkhize delivered an executive statement to the National Assembly yesterday to give MPs an update on the government's response to the pandemic and its risk-adjusted strategy. His statement comes as infections in the country have passed the 224,625 mark, with more than 3,600 deaths. The minister confirmed that a total of 20 million people had been screened across the country. Almost 2 million people have tested positive, or rather have been tested. In international news, one of the world's largest shipping lines has announced a moratorium on the transport of any wood from the Gambia. An investigation has revealed that vast quantities of protected West African rosewood were being trafficked through the country. Rosewood is a family of tropical tree species widely used for furniture in Asia and in particular China. By value and by volume, rosewood is the most trafficked wildlife product in the world. It's believed that this is the first time a shipping line had banned transportation of an entire classification of goods. A group of men who operated a self-proclaimed internet addiction treatment facility in China have been imprisoned. after being found guilty of locking children in solitary isolation for up to 10 days. The facility is one of several hundred boot camp-style detox centers amid rising concerns about the time young people spend online. China fears that young people are addicted to video games, and minors have now been banned from playing games between 10 p.m. and 8 a.m. They are only allowed an hour and a half on weekdays and 3 hours during the weekends. And now news of a brilliant move by a care home to reunite families. Lambwood Heights Care Home in Chigwell in Essex in the UK has been, as most care homes worldwide, closed to non-essential visitors since March. The only family contact has been via video and phone calls. And the care home has now come up with a brilliant idea to unite families safely again. It has installed a huge roof-to-top transparent screen in a summer house. An intercom allows family members to communicate with one another as if they were in one room. Now, residents and family enter from different sides of the building, and visitors have to have their temperature taken before they can go in to maintain the home's infection control procedures. Now, the summer house is also cleaned and disinfected between each pre-booked half-hour visit, and home manager Sonia Cassis says that the system had been amazing for their residents' well-being as well as for their families. It was absolutely heartwarming to see the joy and elation as families met again, basically face-to-face, for the first time since lockdown was initiated. And now turning our gaze to the world of entertainment, part of American teen singing sensation Billie Eilish's charm is her ability to express woes and emotions experienced by those far older than her, and in a manner that is still relatable to her peers. Now, while Billie's diehard fans might have been aware of the admiration the 18-year-old holds for her fellow pop star Justin Bieber, she and her mother Maggie Bird recently got candid about her near obsession with him in the past. In Billie's podcast series Me and Dad Radio, Maggie confesses that she and Billie's dad considered taking her to therapy because of the amount of pain she was in over Bieber. Now, Eilish and Bieber have worked together on a remix of the hit song Bad Guy, with Justin emotionally admitting earlier this year that he feels protective over Billie. Now, reflecting on his experiences as a very young artist in the music industry as well, he asserted that he's a call away if she needs it. Well, let's see how that unfolds. Time for us to take a look at what's happening in the world of sports.
Kicking things off with football news this morning, newly crowned English Premier League champions Liverpool claimed a 3-1 win over Brighton at an empty American Express Community Stadium. And former champions Manchester City returned to winning ways after easing past Newcastle United 5-0 at the Etihad Stadium last night. A brace by Liverpool's star player Mohamed Salah helped secure the win for the Reds. Premier League action will continue this evening with Bournemouth up against Tottenham Hotspur and Aston Villa welcome Manchester United to Villa Park. In cricket news, international cricket returned to test format yesterday with England up against the West Indies at the Ageas Bowl in Southampton. Rain, however, did stop play after only 17.4 overs. The home side, led by Ben Stokes for the very first time, lost Dom Sibley for naught with the Windies bowler Shannon Gabriel at the charge. Play ended with England on 35 for 1, and day 2 action is scheduled to take place from 12 p.m. this afternoon. Taking a look at motorsport news, two-time Formula One world champion Fernando Alonso will make his return to the sport after receiving an offer to compete with Renault. Now, the 39-year-old Spaniard won his 2 world champions with Renault in 2005 and 2006. He'll replace Daniel Ricciardo, who is moving to McLaren and will partner with Esteban Ocon. Alonso has signed with Renault for at least 2 years and can look to race for them beyond that too. Well, on that note, let's take another look at the weather. Here's JB Lee.
Thank you so much, Kat. It's just over 7 o'clock, time to have a look at the weather. But of course, we've asked you to send through your sunrise pictures this morning. Pele Rosalind wishes us a happy Thursday with a stunning beach sunrise picture taken from Amanzimtoti in KwaZulu-Natal. Now, Amanzimtoti can expect breezy conditions today with plenty of sunshine reaching a high of 28 degrees. Another one came through from Dylan Mentor, which captured this gorgeous sunrise picture showing off the sun rising from behind the mountains in the mother city. Now, the mother city, Cape Town, can expect periods of heavy rain and incredibly windy conditions today with a maximum temperature of 16 degrees. Thank you to both Belay and Dylan for sending through your sunrise pictures. We hope you'll have a fantastic Thursday and you will be keeping warm today. Now, the colossal cold front that has developed in the South Atlantic is making landfall in the Western Cape this morning. It has strengthened substantially in the past few days and is reported to make for one of the most eventful winter weekends in South Africa in many years. Hard downpours, which could cause flooding, are forecast, and a significant amount of snowfall, even disruptive in parts, appears most likely from tonight or the early hours of tomorrow morning for the Western, Eastern and Northern Cape, KwaZulu-Natal and even Lesotho. Gale force winds of between 70 kilometers per hour and 90 kilometers per hour are expected. Now, the South African Weather Service has warned of heavy rains, strong winds and cold conditions for most parts of the country today. But right now, let's take a look at the temperatures for the rest of the country. Starting off with Polokwane, your low is 8, peaking at 19 degrees. Partly to mostly sunny conditions for you, Mbombela, ranging from 11 to 26 degrees. Intervals of clouds and sunshine expected for Pretoria with a low of 9 and a high of 21. Johannesburg, 7:20. Mahikeng, 9:20. And then mostly sunny conditions for you, Klerksdorp, with a range of 8 to 20 degrees. Kimberley, 10:22. For you, Bloemfontein, your low is 2, peaking at 20. And then plenty of sunshine with a fresh northerly breeze of 32 kilometers per hour expected for Richard Bay with a low of 18 and a high of 26. Pietermaritzburg at 10:26. And if you do find yourself in South Africa's playground, Durban, your low is 14 with a high of 26. Now, mostly sunny and windy conditions for Umtata, ranging from 8 to 26. East London, 16:28. And then windy with intervals of clouds and sunshine expected for you, Craddock, ranging from 13 to 25 degrees. Port Elizabeth, 15:29. And then partly sunny and breezy conditions for George with a low of 10 and a high of 27. If you do find yourself in the mother city, Cape Town, today, your range is 10 to 16 degrees. And then a passing morning shower and afternoon rain expected for Worcester, ranging from 8 to 17 degrees. Sutherland, 3:16. And then partly sunny, windy and very warm conditions for you, Uppington, with a low of 9 and a high of 26. But of course, wherever you find yourself on this day, make sure that you keep it locked on your Feel Good Breakfast show. And now it's time for the final frontier.
This is your Feel Good Breakfast show, Expresso, right here on SABC3. Thanks for joining us at the start of a brand new day. Now, let's talk interplanetary exploration.
Okay,
Pluto,
all right.
the most well-known dwarf planet in our solar system, has often been thought to be too cold to sustain life, with an average temperature of about minus 232 degrees Celsius. However, a recent study published in Nature Geoscience now suggests that the world may in fact have a warm ocean underneath its icy exterior. And with the presence of warm water on the planet, scientists say there could actually be life. So Professor of Planetary Geosciences at the Open University, David Rothery, joins us via video call from the UK to tell us a bit more about this news. Professor Rothery, thanks so much for joining us.
Good morning, guys.
Professor, this is fascinating, and I mean, you've got our attention here, but what is the probability of Pluto having not just water, but warm water underneath its very well-known icy surface?
Well, you're quite right to stress that the surface is incredibly cold. There's no chance of any kind of life at the surface, but underneath, we think that the ice has melted and it is liquid, therefore water. And actually, it doesn't matter whether that water is what we call warm or whether it's just above freezing, provided it's liquid water. That gives us a chance for life, especially as the rock below the water will be a little bit warmer than the water, and the water can seep into the rock and come out carrying a bit of heat and some chemicals. And that's how you can feed life. You don't need sunlight for life. You need sunlight for plant life, but there are places in the deep parts of the Earth's oceans where it's far too deep for the sun to penetrate. But we do have warm water seeping out from the rock, carrying chemicals, and there are microbes, bacteria-like things that survive on that chemical energy. So it happens on the Earth. It could happen in a slow, modest way on the floor of the internal ocean of Pluto.
So could you maybe describe in further detail, I think you have touched on it a little bit, about the kind of life that we could possibly expect to see if there was indeed life in Pluto's warmer waters? What could one expect to see?
Well, we know that we're happy that there are the conditions for life, so that means Pluto is habitable. Whether it is inhabited by life, we're not sure. But if it is life, we're thinking of very, very simple, single-celled organisms.
We know that this data, for example, was retrieved by NASA's New Horizons probe, which launched in 2006. It traveled for 9.5 years for a flyby that lasted only 15 minutes. Please tell us more about that mission, and what about the data that was accumulated during this 15-minute window?
Okay, well, as you say, it's a long way to Pluto, so it did take 9.5 years. They swung by Jupiter on the way and got some useful data, but the close encounter with Pluto, okay, the headline figure is 15 minutes. We didn't stop for 15 minutes and then move on. It was traveling fast all the time. It was close to Pluto for 15 minutes. It got useful data for about a whole day before and after the encounter. And it retrieved so much data, it took it well over a year to transmit all the data back. They stored it on board, and the signal is so faint, they couldn't blast it all back quickly. They had to send it at a slow trickle to be sure we got high-quality data. And people are still analysing the data, including the data which show these cracks in the icy surface, which suggests that the ice has been cracking as far back in time as we can see. That's the evidence for the internal ocean. But the whole of Pluto is a fascinating place. Well, I say the whole of it, we only saw one side of it because it was rotating so slowly. When we were close, we only got a good view of one side. But it's icy, frozen water ice, extremely rigid, that forms mountains because it won't sag downhill like a glacier because the ice is so cold and rigid. But other places, there's nitrogen ice that's welled out to fill a big impact basin. And then these cracks suggesting that the base of the water ice is molten, and that's your internal ocean.
Professor David Rothery, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome, guys.
That is Professor of Planetary Geosciences at the Open University, Professor David Rothery, sharing some very exciting news and developments in terms of interplanetary exploration. And I mean, we're all excited to find out about the further developments of this story.
Maybe in one day we'll be able to go on a holiday to Pluto.
Yeah, and you could reach out to your ancestors. Are you tired of conference calls, connectivity problems, and need to go on site or be in the boardroom? Well, Mango are soaring the skies once again. As we navigate through this new normal, businesses need to recover, and Mango cares about business. For affordable and reliable business and essential travel, visit www.flymango.com. Go discover more. Go Mango. Book now. Terms and conditions apply.
There's 30 seconds. Come quickly.
Hello, Nina.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Just smile fast. Give us a big smile. Ral, bring us in.
Sergeant Nina, please.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Of course, we're coming at you live, warming you up this Thursday. And it's been said that a creative's biggest gift is that they can create meaning from all the pain and chaos around us. Now, be it through writing a song or writing a book. And this morning, we take a look at the work of Nina Shapiro, a first-year student at the Michaelis School of Fine Art at UCT, who, for one of her assignments, created a stop-motion short film based on the COVID-19 pandemic and lockdown. Have a look at this.
In the trees,
This is some interesting work. Nina, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Our absolute pleasure. I mean, this short film came about as an assignment. Tell us a bit more about that and, your choice of creating a stop motion about the invasion of COVID-19.
So I, as you said, am in my first year at Michaela's at GCT, and we got a very open assignment where we had to discuss the times or comment on the times in a short film in some way, but it was really open, and I thought that this was the best opportunity for me to explore this really exciting medium of short film animation and charcoal animation. And obviously I was very inspired by the work of William Kentridge and his incredible animations with charcoal images. So I thought I would really challenge myself, and I wanted to create something that was relevant to me and relatable to a lot of people, and something that at the moment everyone can relate to is COVID-19. So I thought that I'd go with that.
Oh, it's absolutely incredible. Now, I honestly appreciate so much of our human capital that goes into creating such powerful work. But what level of effort goes into creating a stop motion film like this? I mean, it's unlike any other medium of filmmaking, and you have more control, I'd imagine, but I'm sure things take a little bit longer.
Yeah, so you do have a lot of control, but you have to be so precise. And I knew it was a really ambitious project going into it, but I wanted to give myself that challenge. And basically I have to erase or redraw or tweak every single frame and then take the picture and then do the same thing and take the picture. And the film runs at 4 frames per second. So that means that 1 second was roughly 10 to 15 minutes to make, and there are 580 frames in the film. So, but lockdown was the best time for this because I had lots of time on my hands. So I thought I should do it,
Well, we're glad that you used lockdown to do this. But on a more personal note, what effect has this pandemic had on you? And will you be going back to campus this year? What's the plan going forward?
So it's been difficult at times, but not too bad for me. And because I'm in first year and it's really practical and studio-based, that was quite hard not to be around my peers and be able to bounce ideas off of people. But at the same time, it was really creatively stimulating, which was awesome. And the plan at the moment is to be back on campus in September, which I'm not 100% sure if it's going to happen yet, and things are very uncertain, but we'll just have to see how it goes.
I want to ask you this as well. Are you related to your surname, Shapiro? Are you related to the cartoonist David Shapiro as well? I'm sure you get this a lot.
Jonathan Shapiro.
Jonathan, yes. Sorry, I'm just calling random.
Yeah,
so Jonathan.
That's my dad, yes.
Are you related? It's your dad.
No
what?
ways.
So we definitely see that it's through the genetics. Okay, wow, that's very interesting to know. But thank you so much for joining. And maybe next time you and your dad will actually collaborate and maybe make something for Expresso.
Maybe.
Well, thank you, Nina, so much for your time. Sorry about that. Well, Nina, thank you so much for your time this morning and for sharing that magic that you've created over the lockdown. I think I know how much work you've put into it, and it never really gets as appreciated as it should, but hopefully today has shared some of that love. Oh, Jamie, isn't that just incredible?
So amazing.
The beauty of perspective, it's the same thing happens to all of us, but our different interpretations of that one thing can bring about some interesting works just like Nina.
Absolutely. Right now, we're going to head back to the kitchen with Uncle Tabsy.
Well, some inspiring work we've just seen there, and it really does touch my heart to see young people stretch out to really touch their limits, if there is even such a thing. Time for us now to explore our limits and our experiences in the kitchen, because Chef Monisha is here in the house to show us how to really elevate your breakfast and take it to a whole new level. Because the question is, do you know, or did you know, that avocados contain high amounts of monounsaturated fat, which you'll be happy to know are the good fats, which is great. We love that. And this helps to reduce blood cholesterol levels and lower the risk of heart disease. Great. So up next, Chef Mo is going to be making a delicious potato salad. Sans mayonnaise. But wait, she is making an avonaise. What is an avonaise? I don't know, but she knows. Chef Mo is going to tell us what is an avonaise.
It is not a mayonnaise.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
That's the first start. That's the
Yes,
first stop. But you're going to show us how to make that,
Exactly.
right?
So we're going to use a beautiful avo to be the cream base of almost like a mayo. It's got the same concept of a mayo.
Okay.
Except we're using good fats in the form of avo.
Those mono unsaturated.
Unsaturated,
Mono
yeah.
unsaturated.
Mono
the good fats.
unsaturated. You also get poly unsaturated, and it's all just unsaturated, the good fats.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I get you.
Right,
I
so
get you.
to get to this, basically like a mayonnaise usually has a fat and an egg and some flavor like in form of salt to form the base, and we're using that same exact sort of base ingredients to make this. So look how beautiful this avo is.
I'm a big Evo fan, so you know what? An
Yeah.
Evo can only just look beautiful to me, to be honest. Like,
Yes.
all Evos look beautiful to me. I love them.
And what I love about this avonaise is that you can use it for like a chicken mayo or a pasta salad,
Yeah.
you know, anything like that. So today we're doing a potato salad.
Okay.
I hope you like potato
No,
salad.
I love potatoes. I love all sorts of potatoes, sweet potatoes,
Yes.
and the other potatoes.
And this is a fully loaded potato salad because we've got some bacon.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
some egg.
Okay, it's a treat.
Yeah,
it's a treat. Yes,
Yeah.
queen.
Yes. Okay. Whoop, there goes my pip. Right. So to that, you go with 2 avos, as many as you want, actually. I would
Yeah,
say
please
like,
don't be shy. Don't hold
don't be
back
shy,
on the
don't hold
avos
back.
there. But of
I'll-
course, we know that ongoing research, actually, Mo, and findings, they support growing evidence that avocados are amongst the hot, healthy foods that form part of a healthy and balanced diet. That's great news for every one of us to know. But another great thing about avos is that, of course, that they actually give us a feeling of fullness. I love that about them. So less of those unhealthy snacks, you know what I mean? Because you feel full. And so
Yes.
you don't have to be snacking on everything you come across.
that happens to me all the time, you know, like when you're working and you're using a lot of brain energy.
Yeah.
And then you think about those chocolates.
Yeah,
And
and it's all you can think about.
yes.
Whereas if you think about it, if you made like a nice, and I'm sure there's so many things you can show us that we can make with Avo, you're able just to dip into that and just snack on that as you go.
Absolutely. So I would make this like instead of guacamole, I'd maybe do a bit of avocados and then do that with some nachos because I like
and
a
you can
smooth
dip.
cream
You can dip as you go. Okay, so what have you added in there?
Right,
Just take
so
me through that again.
In here, I've got a bit of olive oil,
Okay.
my avos, a bit of Dijon mustard, some garlic, and
Okay.
then I'm gonna do a little bit of lemon zest. It just really adds nice, beautiful
That
flavor.
zestiness.
Yeah, you kind of do need it.
True.
I think so. It's nice and refreshing.
True.
Also, by adding lemon, I tend to use less salt.
Oh,
Healthier.
because, yes,
Yes.
because it does neutralize and bring out the flavors
Brings out the flavor.
in a way that you want, what you would
Yeah.
expect to get from salt, or what you're
Exactly.
trying to get from salt.
Exactly. Right, so here we go. Just, you can also do this in a pestle and mortar, but you're not going to get the same smooth
you
results. So I would just do it in a blender.
Blend. We actually weren't saying anything there,
Yeah.
Monique.
Trade secrets.
We've got the whole control room with the director going, "Are your mics off? Are your mics off? Send help! Send help!" They
Right.
didn't actually offer any help.
No, we won't say anything. Right.
Okay, so that goes into our sweet potatoes.
Well, these are just normal potatoes.
Are those normal potatoes?
Yeah,
Wow.
you get also the orange sweet potatoes, but if that's your preference, you can totally do that.
Yeah, and what have you done with those potatoes? Did you just boil them?
Just boil them.
Okay.
Yeah, totally. So you're going to do this with sweet potatoes.
Yes, I'm definitely going to be adding sweet potatoes, and you know what I'm going to do as well? Instead of just boiling them, I'm going to boil them and then get some butter over, just for some nice creaminess and to add to the texture. I spent a lot of time with Chef Clem, you see.
Yes,
And
he's
so,
rubbing off on you.
yes, he
in
is.
a good way.
In a very, very good way. I've been so inspired. I mean, I've learned so much. It's actually quite amazing the things that I put together on the weekends at home.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Ooh.
And
yes,
do you tag Chef Clem?
Yes.
No!
Chef Clem, you're making noise.
It's a hard no.
I do tag him.
Okay, and is he impressed?
I tag Clem every day. I thank him. Clem,
Uh-oh.
Thank you, Clem. I'm tagging you now on TV.
Uh-oh. On all the posts.
Okay, yeah, deal. Smile. You're tagged. Take the chefs. Take
I'm
the
such
chefs.
a pot stirrer, hey.
You
I
really
think I just
are.
caused
You
some
really
trouble.
are. But you know what? I can't fight with you now because I
Yeah.
still gotta eat your food.
Yeah. Okay, and that's it.
So
Just
that's
add
it.
Some
That's all you've
bacon,
done?
Some eggs, some chives, salt and pepper. Beautiful.
I like the chives. Look at what the end product looks like, guys. This is absolutely beautiful. It's fantastic. It's a guilt-free breakfast. In fact, you can also have it as a snack or a lunch. It's really up to you. And as you can see, just from the look of it, it's so impressive. And just about anyone you feed this to will be impressed. They will be coming back for more. But of course, I like to refer to myself sometimes as the taste master or the taster of the food. So let's brew this so we know.
Taste. Beautiful, creamy flavor. Hey?
Keep going.
Buttery, smooth, tangy.
Add an avo, nurtured in South Africa.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
You're still with your Feel Good Breakfast Show Expresso on SABC3. Now, from head to toe, we all have our own sense of style and grooming preferences. Now, the big Master Your Look campaign is about showcasing our own individualities. And being on stage means not only showcasing your talents, but also your overall look too.
Yep, and Loyiso Gichana burst onto the music scene in 2015. He's since been soaring with a soulful covers and debut single that has left his fans wanting more and more. And this morning we chat to him about his music, his career, and how he masters his look. Loyiso, good morning. So good to have you here.
Good morning. Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, man. This is an exciting moment. I'm like a really big fan of yours since watching you on the stage and now hearing your music having come out. And of course, you're known for predominantly performing covers, but you've come out with an incredible debut single, Nontsikelelo. Please take us back a little bit into what inspired that particular song.
Oh, thank you. I'm a big fan of yours, by the way. I mean, your versatility.
Look at the bromance going on here.
It's all about me.
Thanks, bro. Thanks.
So, Nontsikelelo is, I broke up with this girl because I felt like I wasn't ready, and I feel like that's a lot of us men who go through that, where we feel like we're not ready for a type of relationship, or we feel like we can't commit. So I broke up with her, and I realized after that, what did I do, man? What did I do? And hence I wrote the song saying, "Yeah, boy, I'm coming back." And since I released the song, I've heard nothing from her. You know, I've tried to reach out, and I thought the song would change her mind, but no, she wasn't having it.
Wow, man.
So,
I mean, that's an incredibly vulnerable position to kind of put yourself in, but I mean, I think that speaks to the honesty of your artistry and why that song hits so hard.
I think the thing about you, Loyiso, regardless of genre, is your ability to capture the emotion and bring that across in your music. I mean, your latest single, Madota Sabelani, you released that on the 20th of June, and it sounds amazing. Everyone's raving about it. It's dedicated to all the innocent women who have lost their lives to gender-based violence. It's a big conversation. Tell us more about that.
Well, man, it was just a frustration part of me. I really was frustrated with how there was so much femicide and gender-based violence in South Africa, and women getting killed, and most importantly, one of my friends was killed in the hands of a man. So it was really personal. It was a personal thing. I mean, I wrote this song last year, but I was struggling to release it because I didn't know how I was going to say it and how I was going to voice it out and how I was going to be heard. So I was like, you know what, let me just take time and process it and kind of think about it. And when it was the 16th of June, I realized that we're celebrating Youth Day, but there's so much happening in the world, and there's so many women that are being killed, and I can't rest. My heart couldn't rest. So I just thought I should just release a clip, and I feel like it touched a lot of people beyond my expectations. I mean, I got DMs of a lot of little girls, women telling me about their stories, and I'm like, wow, I never knew that I could trigger something that amazing. And a lot of my friends opening up to me about situations where they felt like they were sexually assaulting a woman, and it wasn't the proudest moment, and they felt like they needed to tell me and needed to get it out. So I just feel like it's a big thing in the world right now, and it's a big thing that should be paid attention to. Hence, I did something about it.
Well done for devoting a part of your artistry to this, because in doing so, you've given a different voice and a different approach to a very big and very important conversation. And may you continue to inspire action through your artistry by doing things like this. Well done, man. But let's also talk about the bigger picture of being a musician, because it's not just about your voice, it's also about how you present yourself as a whole. So how do you ensure that your sense of style amplifies your music?
Yo, bro, I'm not gonna lie. I've struggled so much with how I look.
Yeah.
It took so long for me to accept myself. I went through a phase where I was gaining so much weight. I was going through a phase where I was depressed. I was going through a phase where I felt like I had nothing to give in this world. And part of the biggest reasons was that I was big. And I wasn't accepting the fact that I was big. And part of being big was kind of accepting who I was and kind of moving on from it and saying, listen, you're a big guy, you're big and you're beautiful, and this is how you're gonna own it. You're gonna find clothes that are gonna fit you. You're gonna find clothes that are gonna look good on you. Because I struggled to find clothes.
Yeah.
But it really took time for me to accept myself and to be so comfortable. Hence, I've now mastered my look. I've mastered the way that I dress, my confidence. It comes from within. It comes from accepting yourself. It comes from realizing that this is how you look. This is you. You're beautiful. You're bold and you're confident. You need to tell yourself inside. So I've come to this realization that I don't need to be skinny. I don't need to be small. I don't need to wear size 28 to look good or look beautiful. I just have to be me and accept me.
You seem to have traveled that journey and discovered that and found yourself, and you've been able to master your look in that regard. But what is your top tip for someone who's probably going through the same challenge and trying to find their look? What is your tip for them to help them master their look?
Well, just keep it simple. I mean, simplicity is the key. Keep it simple, keep it clean. I mean, you want to wear something that you're comfortable with. You want to shave your beard in the best way possible. You want to cut your hair in the way that looks good on you. Don't care what other people say. Do what feels good to you.
Yeah, man, I think ultimately as well, just like you have done, really tap into your true self and let the world see it. Because you've done so in such a beautiful way, man, that it inspires so many of us every single day when we hear your music. Please keep on blessing us, bro, and Godspeed on your journey. Now, of course, don't forget, Big Flex are giving you the chance to master your look, and they also want you to stand a chance of winning a shopping voucher to the value of 5,000 Rand every week for the next 4 weeks. All you have to do is to reply to the competition post on our Expresso Facebook page or our Twitter page, telling us what master your look means to you.
And don't forget to use that hashtag Master Your Look. This week's competition will close at 12 p.m. tomorrow, so be sure to get your entries in. Of course, if you want those T's and C's, because they do apply, you can find them on expressoshow.com. Good luck.
Master your look with Big Flex.
Public service announcement, everyone. The puffer jacket is back again this winter. Yes, you heard me. It is here to help you beat the cold and looks good while doing so. Now, we're joined in studio this morning by fashion and beauty editor Knox Mafu to give us 20 tips on this must-have essential item that anyone can wear. Listen, I had to make a whole thing about it because...
It is a PSA.
It is.
It is actually a public service announcement because puffers have just been so timeless in fashion. And like you said, they're back and they're better than ever, honestly.
Because a lot of people, when they look at the puffer jacket, they think, oh, is this something you're going to go camping with? But no, this brings back the 90s feels for me.
Exactly.
Take us through what a puffer jacket is for you.
Okay.
For everybody at home, why they need to have a puffer jacket.
So I think, like you said, Jamie, so beautifully, that the puffer jacket has been linked with the idea that you need to go camping or it's just for outerwear. Well, actually, fashion has said that that is not the truth. This is something that in 2020 is voluminous, it's oversized, and really can lean into the athleisure style or just a practical and fun wear. And what I love about this is that mom, dad, and your kiddies are going to be sorted. I mean, we've got examples here, but honestly, it's such a functional piece of clothing, but it's stylish and it's cool and it can really bring an edge to any outfit.
Talking about stylish, what different styles are there? Is there then just the one? Because I see different styles
There are
and
different
I haven't really seen this, but I'm loving that Luca can get one, I can get one, baby daddy can get one, everyone can get one.
Right? So there's such beautiful styles. I think let's start with the kiddies. What I love here is that obviously it's made of, you know, a brilliant material which is actually recyclable, and we'll talk to that later. But I love the lining inside for the little ones because, of course, it does need to be lightweight. They're returning back to school. There's a lot more activity during the day. So I love how lightweight it is, but you'll be comfortable that your kid is warm enough. And it's got a beautiful kind of lineup. The zipping is very cool. And even there, they've got it as cool kids. And there's a beautiful range of colors from your yellows, your blues. Your kid will really be looking stylish. Here we've got something for the ladies. And also very functional. Like I said, it's a very utilitarian kind of piece of wear. So you'll find that there's lots of pockets. What I love about this one is that you can detach the hoodie. So I'll try to do that for us here.
Okay, so like...
we can detach.
Am I in Antarctica today? No, I'm not.
Yes, change it up. You know, you've got options. So you could take this off. I haven't taken it off properly, but again, there we've got the full, so 2 different styles, 1 piece of clothing. That is an investment piece in itself already. And then the men's section. I mean,
I don't know why you're saying men's as if I wouldn't wear this. Like, this is for the ladies as well.
Ladies as well, if you want to wear it. I think, I mean, unisex stuff at this stage is all the rage. I love this kind of style, very modern. The pockets here speak to a very functional piece of clothing. The lining inside is exceptionally warm. So, you know, you'll be comfortable, you'll be cool. It's well fitted on a male kind of structure. And like you said, if you want to lean into it as a woman, it's brilliant. I really love these styles. And also just not one piece of, you know, style. I think we always tend to think the puffer jacket is like this. But you can get really modern looks that kind of follow the body in a way that's modern, that's got an edge. And I think you'll look incredible. I mean, if you want to style something like this, You can wear it with sweats.
I was just going to ask you now, how would
Yes.
you then style
How would you
this?
style it?
Because I'm thinking just tights and then whatever.
Oh, no. You can definitely, you see, I think because we think of a coat, we're like, that's the only way you can dress something up as fabulously as you have today. But with this, you can wear, you know, your sweats, you could wear your jeans, you could pair it with a sneaker, or if you want to take it up, you wear a boot, you wear a good denim. So this is really something that's versatile, and you can wear your knits underneath, and you can wear it inside, outside, lightweight, functional, but very cool.
Now, not only are these puffers sexy, cute, comfortable, you also said there's a story, a sustainability story about it. Tell me a bit more about that.
Well, this is where I think Woolworths really took my heart away, because I really had no idea that each of these things that we're looking at here are made of 80% recyclable material. And this is down to the zipper line, down to the zipper tag. What Woolworths has done has taken over 1 million recycled bottles and used those materials to give us fashion that is functional, that is fly, and really just on trend. And I mean, to put the two together, I think we all know that we're trying to be far more sustainable with our fashion, give back to the environment by still looking good. And I think Woolworths has done this in a beautiful way that sets them apart from the rest of the retailers.
Trending, but while still just being so conscious about what you're doing out there. Thank you so much, Knox, for just giving us your expertise on the puffer jacket. I'm definitely taking all three for myself, everybody. Well, you at home, there you have it. The puffer jacket is a must-have item this winter, and Hoolies is making fashion and function come together, and we love to see it. We are here for it, let me tell you about it. But you can get your hands on these sustainability crafted puffers available at Woolies stores nationwide. Now shop the latest winter's fashion in-store, online, or on the Hoolies app.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Clover Fresh Milk is the #1 milk brand in SA, made with love by Clover.
Welcome back to your feel-good breakfast show. We are about to warm up their belly once again. Now known as Murg Makhani in northern India, there is no doubt that butter chicken is one of the most loved curries worldwide. It's bold with flavors in a bowl of comfort. There are several variations to this dish, and many which have passed down from generation to generation. And of course, today we show you the steps to a quick butter chicken curry with Clover Mooi River butter for a flavor-packed midweek meal. Chef Mo.
Yeah.
Oh, butter chicken is an absolute favorite of mine. I've had so many variations.
Right?
Spicy, not spicy. Some take 10 minutes, some take hours.
Right.
It's just like all over the show. So what are we doing today? How are we doing this?
We're going to do a quicker version because we haven't got all of those
An
hours.
espresso version.
You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
I don't know if you have tried making it before.
I have, yes, I have. But I kind of cheat and use that like all-in-one mix, and you just chuck it over the chicken. Yeah, I'm a, the absolute espresso version, but it never has that real authenticity of mama's cooking.
And that's what you want.
I want Mo's mama's loving right now, so let's bring it.
Well, okay, so I had to search far and wide for a recipe that I could do because my mom didn't really make butter chicken. And then when I had it one day, I had to research and phone people, phone a friend, just to try and get this recipe because it is a much loved recipe.
Yeah, and I mean, you viewers don't even have to stress. We got you covered. You don't have to search search far and wide. We've got this recipe for you on the expressoshow.com. So, of course, head over to the website right now, expressoshow.com, where you don't have to search far and wide. All the answers are provided for you. Chef Mo's put together this epic recipe that we're going to be taking you through right now. We are already into it.
Yes.
Let us begin.
So, we're going to marinate our chicken cubes in some yogurt, plain yogurt, and to that I've added a bit of garam masala, a bit of roasted masala. You can do some chicken masala if you want. Basically, any masala works here. A bit of garlic and ginger, and then just give that a good mix. I also love, because I love cumin, like it is my #1 absolute favorite spice, so I always add more of that. And of course, some turmeric, great health benefits.
So this seems to be like the part of the process where you kind of can get creative, I'd imagine.
Definitely.
I mean, making the spices more aligned to what you like.
Yeah. I mean, you can also add like cinnamon if that's your vibe.
Okay.
You know, any warm spices works really well. And then also you can sort of monitor the chili levels as well.
Oh, of course, yeah. I know a lot of guys love chili in the studio, and we just pound it on.
Yeah.
And I often when I take some of the food back to my girlfriend, she's struggling. She's like crying after these meals. Like, it tastes so good, but it's what?
Yeah. So you can sort of just like, don't add too much chili if that's not, you know, if you're not taking too kindly to that. So then you can leave this mixture overnight in your fridge or for like 20 minutes if you are in a hurry like we are. I've added some lemon juice and some lemon zest, and that's going to really tenderize this chicken as well. So it's going to be like buttery.
Say no more. You speak in my language. You're buttery chicken.
Butteriness. Speaking of which, we're going to start off with our base, our curry base.
Ma, I must just say, before you even put that stove on, or sorry, the pot on, the smells that I'm getting and the aromas here are incredible. I think that whole fusion with the yogurt and the spices.
Yeah.
I thought it's just going to be like that musky, get it out of my face, but
no.
It's really good. It's smelling divine.
Yeah. So then to that, we're going to just melt your butter nicely. We've got some beautiful curry leaves. You've got to have a good curry leaf for a beautiful curry. And then let that just have a little conversation. We're also going to do a garlic butter rice.
A garlic butter rice?
Yes, because...
on top of the butter chicken.
Because
it's a double butter infusion. I love it.
Why would you have normal plain rice?
Of course, why not? Let's do it. Throw in the butter. Let's go.
More butter. And then we're just going to toast your raw rice with the butter.
So you haven't parboiled or anything? You're just chucking the rice in straight away?
It's going to cook like that and form its own flavor. All say hi and are you well in the pot. Add your garlic and then just some salt and pepper. And then you just let that boil.
Is that it?
That's it.
Oh, that's like a meal on its own.
And you can also add some more spice if you want. If you really are like a spice queen, you know, or a spice king, just add like cumin to that as well. It's beautiful.
I'm taking that rice hack with me because, I mean, I can throw anything to that. Any meat, any steak, any chicken.
Absolutely.
That is perfect. So thank you, Mo. Words of wisdom for the morning. I'm already sorted here.
Okay, so our butter is melted for our curry base with our curry leaves in there, and then we're going to add some more. I love lots of garlic and ginger.
Now I'm with you on that. Chuck it all in. Bring it on.
It must be. For me, a curry must have lots of garlic and ginger and all of that.
I don't think there's actually
flavor.
a meal that I make that doesn't have garlic. It's just, it's good with everything. It's almost like chocolate on dessert. Like, you can't have too much chocolate in dessert. You can't have too much garlic in your meal.
No, not with me. And it's also healthy. So do pile on the garlic and ginger. You know, we've got to keep those vitamin C up.
Yes.
Especially to fight off any illnesses.
Yes.
And then to that,
as well,
you're going to add your marinated chicken to your pot. So then they're going to simmer all together beautifully. Give that a good mix, and then also a bit of tomato paste. And last but not least, a bit of cream. You can do some coconut cream, any cream that you have at home. Add that in. They're having a nice fat conversation in there. The flavors are marinating and marrying together. Beautiful. Let that simmer.
Conversation for the evening. And how long will this sit on you before this recipe is done?
Just until the chicken is cooked, so about 20 minutes, 20 to 25 minutes.
Wow, there you have 20 minutes, and that'll get you your butter chicken infusion and sort you out for winter. Now, that is obviously one way to turn up the heat. So, of course, head over to the expressoshow.com to get this delicious recipe. And if you missed any of the steps, check this out. We got you covered.
Made with love by Clover. Only you can make my day.
Clover Fresh Milk is the #1 milk brand in SA. Made with love by Clover.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it. Your Feel Good Breakfast Show is live, large and in charge on this Thursday morning TikTok time with my friend Grant Hines. Of course, he's the main man when it comes to that kind of scene. Now, if you had to take a guess, what would you think is the most expensive piece of tech in the world right now? And, you know, when you think about the prices that some of these tech pieces ask for, does the function justify that high price? Well, Grant is here to take us through some of his findings. He's been doing research on this topic. And I'm quite excited to actually find out, because the other day we did a list of the highest charging influencers on Instagram. I don't know if we...
Oh, no, that must have been interesting.
What The Rock charges, like, over 1 million rand per sponsored post. We need to get on that level.
Yeah, we need to get there.
Then we need to afford this tech.
Yeah, so brands, get hold of Cat.
But what have you got on your list of some of the most expensive tech in the world?
So technology essentially is kind of like the same. Like everything is kind of relatively, like it's as cost effective as possible. Most companies that are making money out of technology make it off of services, right? So like you sell a product like a console at as low price as you can to have more people use that piece of technology. So that's why, yeah, it's really fairly priced generally when you buy like a phone.
The services are what they actually make the money.
Exactly. More people that use the product, the better.
Do they say the Xbox Gold or Live?
Yeah, the whole and PlayStation Network, all that stuff. Now we take it up a notch. Some people just want something a little exclusive.
Okay.
You know, they want to make it exclusive. And I was doing this research, and it blew my mind.
Yeah.
The first one that I want to show you is an 18-karat gold and diamond Bitcoin edition phone. That is $11,000. Now that in rand is 180.
Wait. Listen properly. Go again.
180,000 rand. It's
180,000 rand.
Like roughly, it's probably closer to 200,000 rand for a phone. Cat,
That's madness.
For a phone.
That's madness. No. And
imagine taking that on contract. What would you pay on contract for that?
Like
you know what I mean?
10K a month. Wow.
Okay, so we're gonna take it up a level.
That's madness.
The next one is a connected modular watch. So a lot of really expensive watches. If you're in the watch game, like expensive watches can get pricey because they are like quite exclusive. This one is a digital watch. A lot of digital watches aren't that expensive because technology improves.
Yes.
So dramatically. Analog technology kind of stays the same for a long period of time. This is $197,000. So in South African rand, it's 3 million. It's like nearly 3.5 million rand.
Basically, it costs as much as the average house in Bishop's Court in Cape Town.
For a watch. No, and not just any watch, not an analog watch that's gonna, it's gonna improve in value over time. You can sell it or give it to your family
it might
or whatever.
crash.
I don't know. It's software needs a software update. You know what I'm saying?
You're literally wearing a house on your wrist, bro. That's madness.
Yeah, I don't know.
That is insane.
People must.
I've got a feeling it gets more insane though.
It does. Okay, so this next one is, it's actually a phone company that doesn't exist anymore. They folded. I mean, come on.
Was it a fold phone?
Good joke. We didn't plan that. So it's called the Virtue Signature Cobra. It's $360,000.
Bro, no.
You know that thing runs BBM. No. You know what I mean? You look at it. You know you want to toss that thing out. That cost 6 million rand.
No. That's the worst.
Right?
Life. I've never. Wow.
Like, you think that people waste their money? That is the biggest waste of money. Look at that screen.
I guess it's because it's diamond crusted.
Actually, I want to get up here. I want to talk about this. What is happening here? That's taking up all the screen real estate. It's a really bad design.
It still has buttons.
The next piece of tech is completely excessive.
Okay.
It's a 1 meter. You know the HDMI cable that plugs your console or your box into the TV, right?
That's an HDMI cable.
It's an HDMI cable.
Cool.
This one is a diamond. 1 meter. It's not even fancy. It's 1 meter.
This long.
This long. A meter. What would you learn at school? It's like this big.
Cool.
It's $1,000. So it's 18,000 rand. It's nearly 20,000. It's nearly the same price as a flagship phone for an HDMI cable because you want it embraided with diamonds.
Wow. It doesn't offer you any higher speed of connection, nothing?
This should cost you $100. You know what I'm saying? Maybe 150 rand. Like, that's what it should cost you, and they were just like, I don't know, put diamonds in this thing. And you know what the weird thing about all this technology is? That it goes out of date. HDMI is going to improve. We're going to have higher refresh rates. You're going to have to get new HDMI cables later.
Maybe you can wear it around your neck.
We'll call AKA, yo, you need an HDMI.
Don't. He might tweet you. Don't.
Just, when you go to your friend's house and they got, the console's not working, you can just, I got you, man. Got it around my neck. The next one is a speaker.
Okay, cool.
Okay, I had to find
sound is very important generally, so.
Look, how important is sound? It's a beautiful looking speaker, right? Well, I mean, it's a bit debatable. It could look like something out of Spirited Away, some anime enemy or something.
Okay, cool.
It looks like a bag. Somebody dressed in a bag. It's a big bag over his head. This speaker is $77,000.
The equivalent of how much rand?
1 million. It's 1.3 million rand for a speaker. Like, it's got to do more than play music at this point. You know?
That speaker better be able to speak to your ancestors.
Yeah.
In the next lifetime. What are you doing?
Yeah,
that's the maddest thing I've ever heard in my life.
So okay, just moral of the story, guys. Any tech that is doing this flashy stuff, don't buy it. It's stupid. Tech improves over time. We're gonna have iterative, better ones in the future. You don't want to invest a whole bunch of money on technology that's going to be obsolete.
Yeah,
that's important.
Goodness gracious.
We've got great devices. We've got great products that are out now that are affordable. That can help us.
They can do great things.
They can do incredible things. Don't waste your money on flashy tech.
Let's find out what some of our viewers had to say on social media. We asked you about what is the most expensive piece of tech that you own. Okay, that's not mine. That's Grant's seat. Aiden Isaacs said this morning, guys. I think it's probably my cell phone, which is probably the right answer for a lot of people.
And that's a reasonable answer.
Cool. Donovan Mentor says my computer monitor. Probably one of those very cool gaming ones as well, like the one that we had in that simulator. And then Joshua DJ Joshi says my 7,000 rand Xbox One console. Hey, fair enough. See, these are reasonably priced things.
And as I said, they're good prices. This technology they make money on the services of the technology. It's a really good price piece of technology. And the R&D that goes into this, it's not just the price of the hardware when you buy a
research
technology.
And development, by the way.
Yeah, it's the research and development that it takes to get to this.
Yeah.
A lot of money gets invested into working out how to build this, and that's why it's not just the cost of each component.
Yeah.
That's how you price technology.
That's why I trust this man when it comes to the world of technology. Grant Hines, thank you very much. Keep interacting with us. Let us know the most expensive piece of tech that you own. Hashtag Expresso Show all over social media. Right now, time for the news headlines.
It's 8 o'clock in the morning. You're with your Feel Good Breakfast show, Expresso. Time for us to take a look at those news headlines. We start off here at home, where President Cyril Ramaphosa has expressed sadness over the passing of the Queen of the Kgagabe Kingdom, Her Majesty Queen Noloyiso Sandile. Queen Noloyiso is the widow of the late Kgagabe King Matoba Sandile and sister to the Zulu monarch, King Goodwill Zwelithini. Queen Noloyiso died of COVID-19 related illness in Mdantsane, and Ramaphosa described the Queen as a bastion of traditional values and an inspiring leader of her people. He said she played an important role to curb the spread of COVID-19 by calling on communities to halt traditional initiations. In the Western Cape Premier Alan Winde has tested positive for COVID-19. He is the second premier to contract the COVID-19 virus, and the other one being Northwest Premier Job Mokgoro. Winde is self-isolating at home for 14 days, but said that he would continue with meetings to coordinate the province's COVID-19 response. Mokgoro said he decided to check himself into a hospital a day after he tested positive on Tuesday, although he only had mild symptoms. On Monday, Mokgoro lost one of his cabinet ministers or cabinet members, Gordon Kgakilwe, to the pandemic. In international news, one-time fast bowling great Michael Holding has said education is the key to stamping out racism. This as England and the West Indies took on a knee in support of the Black Lives Matter campaign before the first test yesterday in Southampton. Holding, who played in the Great West Indian sides of the 1970s and 80s, recalled ugly incidents experienced on his visits to Australia and England. And Holding said meaningful change was needed following the death of George Floyd in police custody in the United States in May. One of the world's largest shipping lines has announced a moratorium on the transport of any wood from the Gambia. An investigation has revealed that vast quantities of protected West African rosewood were being trafficked through the country. Rosewood is a family of tropical tree species widely used for furniture in Asia and in particular China. And by value and by volume, rosewood is the most trafficked wildlife product in the world. It's believed that this was the first time a shipping line had been banned transportation of an entire classification of goods. And now, encouraging news of a major development at a Gauteng university amidst the worsening COVID-19 pandemic and becoming ventilator shortages, or rather looming ventilator shortages in South Africa, comes the news that engineering at the University of Johannesburg have designed and developed a 3D printed mechanical ventilator able to support multiple patients. The ventilator, named Aura in Premier, is not only portable but also allows for off-grid operations for up to 1.5 hours. It also has a customizable base plate to treat multiple patients. Professor Tien Chien Jen, head of UJ's Mechanical Engineering Science Department and the project team leader, said that the ventilators were ready and safe to operate. He said the unique 3D printable ventilators use a microcontroller to control the operation of the two motors. By adjusting the speed and direction of rotation of the motors, it is also possible to obtain a pressure time profile that is suitable for respiratory assistance of patients. Jen added that the ventilator's battery system would also ensure normal functioning when the demand for electricity exceeded the available supply. And now another quick look at what's happening in the world of entertainment. American hip-hop artist Kanye West has been trending since America's Independence Day last Saturday, when he reinforced his intentions to run for president in 2020. This echoes the first time he made the controversial announcement back at the 2015 MTV Video Music Awards. The rapper seems to be taking his candidacy seriously, with his potential running mate being Michelle Tidball, a preacher from Wyoming, and his campaign slogan being an emphatic yes. And according to Ballotpedia, at the moment, West has not filed paperwork with the Federal Election Commission, which is a necessary step to getting on the ballot. But even if West is instead rather intended to run as a right-on candidate, some states require that paperwork be filled in advance in order for those votes to be counted. And that's where we wrap up the news for this morning. Here is Kat with a final look at the sports.
I don't know, Uncle Tubbsy. I think President Yay has a good ring to it. Anyway, right now let's take a look at the sporting headlines, beginning with football. Newly crowned English Premier League champions Liverpool claimed a 3-1 win over Brighton at an empty American Express Community Stadium, and former champions Manchester City returned to winning ways after easing past Newcastle United 5-0 at the Etihad Stadium last night. A brace by Liverpool's star player Mohamed Salah helped secure the win for the Reds, and Premier League action will continue this evening with Bournemouth up against Tottenham Hotspur and Aston Villa welcoming Manchester United to Villa Park.
Meanwhile, international cricket returned in test format yesterday, with England up against the West Indies at the GS Bowl in Southampton. Rain, however, stopped play after only 17.4 overs. The home side, led by Ben Stokes for the very first time, lost Dom Sibley for naught, with Windies bowler Shannon Gabriel at the charge. Play ended with England on 35 for 1, and day 2 of the action is scheduled to take place from 12 p.m. this afternoon. In motorsport news, two-time Formula One world champion Fernando Alonso will make his return to the sport after receiving an offer to compete with Renault. Now, the 39-year-old Spaniard won his 2 world champions with Renault in 2005 and 2006, and he will be replacing Daniel Ricciardo, who is moving to McLaren and will partner with Esteban Ocon. Alonso has signed with Renault for at least 2 years and can look to race for them beyond that. Well, that's it for the sport on this Thursday morning. Right now, one last look at your weather with Jamie Lee. Very good morning. I'm Jamie Lee Domberg. Right now, let's take a look at the photographs you sent through to us. Thank you very much to our regular photographer and friend of Expresso, Father Khan, for the incredible sunrise picture from Richards Bay, and Nombulelo Zandi Legama for the beautiful sunrise picture from Soweto. We'd also like to thank Pile Roslin for the breathtaking beach sunrise picture from Amanzi Mtoti in KZN, as well as Dalan Mentor for this gorgeous picture of the sun coming up from behind the mountains, taken in the mother city right here in Cape Town. Now, the colossal cold front that has developed in the South Atlantic is making landfall in the Western Cape this morning. It has strengthened substantially in the past few days and is reported to make for one of the most eventful winter weekends in South Africa in many years. Now, hard downpours, which could cause flooding, are forecast, and a significant amount of snowfall, even disruptive in parts, appears most likely from tonight or the early hours of tomorrow morning for the Western, Eastern and Northern Cape and KZN, as well as even Lesotho. Now, gale force winds of between 70 kilometers per hour and 90 kilometers per hour are to be expected. The South African Weather Service has warned of heavy rains, strong winds and cold conditions for most parts of the country today. But here's a look at those temperatures. Polokwane, your low of 8 and a high of 19. Partly to mostly sunny conditions for Mbombela with a low of 11 and a high of 26. Pretoria, temperatures ranging between 9 and 21, while times of clouds and sunshine will be expected in Johannesburg this morning, low of 7 and a high of 20. Mahikeng, 9 to 20. Mostly sunny conditions in the northwest for Klerksdorp, a low of 8 and a high of 20. In the Northern Cape, Kimberley, 10 to 22. Sunny with a fresh northerly breeze of about 30 kilometers per hour in the Free State in Bloemfontein, a low of 2 and a high of 20. Richards Bay between 18 and 26, while Pietermaritzburg can expect a low of 10 and a high of 26. Sunny and windy conditions for Durban today, a low of 14 and a high of 26, while in Tata you can expect a minimum of 8 degrees Celsius, reaching up to a maximum of 26. Sun followed by clouds and a fresh northerly breeze of 33 kilometers per hour in East London with a low of 16 and a high of 28. Windy with intervals of clouds and sunshine for Cradock today, 13 your low and a high of 25, while Port Elizabeth can expect temperatures ranging between 15 and 29. George, your low 10 and a high of 27, while windy conditions with periods of heavy rain can be expected in Cape Town, of course, with that cold front, a low of 10 and a high of 16. A passing morning shower and afternoon rain in Worcester today, a low of 8 and a high of 17, while strong northwesterly winds can be expected up to about 48 kilometers per hour in Sutherland, and a cold low of 3 and a high of 16. And finally finishing things off in Uppington, your low of 9 and a high of 26. But of course, no matter what the weather in your part of the country, here's to hoping you have a fantastic morning.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Jamie Lee Domberg. I'm loving that new look. Of course, nothing beats an Omar Rusk dip in the morning, and that's exactly why we asked you at home to send in your pictures of you dipping an Omar first thing in the morning. Now, the 3 best photos will each win a lekker Omar Rusk hamper worth 500 Rand.
It's a really awesome prize, I'll tell you that. These are a hit, and at my household, they don't last very long, and you'll soon find out why if you've not bought them yet when you do win them. But as always, we have loved receiving all the entries that you've sent through. Thank you very much for sharing your photos. This competition is still open until 11 o'clock this morning. You haven't got that much time, but we thought we'd show you some of the entries we've received and show off how fantastic those entries have been.
Yeah, so our first photo is from Portia Moswane and her beautiful family. She says, "This is how our family starts our day every day." We love the smiles, we love the robes, and we love the family time. Thank you for this incredible photo that you sent in to us. Such love.
They look like such a warm family. I love that. Thank you for that. Our next photo is from Chris Naker, who says, "Oma rusks are great for those chilly mornings at work." Chris, we love that you took a moment to treat yourself to a rusk and send us this photo. I mean, well done. We're also having our rusks here at work. That's the best time for me as well, Chris. We're the same.
And our next entry is from Gilokazi Matrose, and she says, "Love sharing a rusk with my best friend." Guys, how cute is this little girl and her robe sharing a rusk with mama? They're looking so warm, man. At least I've got my friend here with you, Tubbs. I can share my rusk.
Hey, last but not least, our next photo is from Terry, and here she is sitting outside dipping a rusk in the sun. How lovely. And all we want to know is, where in the country are you where you've got all of that sun? But that looks like such a vibe. Thank you so much for that photo. Nice garden there in the sun.
Making us jealous, but we've got a warm cuppa at least. Now, thank you to everyone who has entered so far. But remember, you can still stand a chance of winning, because the competition only closes today at 11 a.m. So you still got a few hours to get involved, and make sure you enter either on the Expresso Facebook or Twitter page and send us a photo of you dipping an Oma for breakfast. And we have 3 Oma Rusk campers up for grabs, and they could be yours. And of course, remember, the T's and C's can be found on the expressoshow.com.
With Oma Rusks, it's always dipping time. From the first thing in the morning right through to that midnight snack in bed. What is your favorite dipping time? What's better than a sugar-coated, deliciously crispy golden brown donut and 100% Arabica beans brewed to perfection? Treat yourself and warm up your morning with a little sweetness from McCafe with the all-new mini donut and cappuccino offer. A little lovin' doesn't have to cost a lot. Great coffee, simple.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Anyone who's ever experienced it can testify that joint pain can make even the simplest of activities difficult, especially when caused by inflammation in the joints. Something such as arthritis from simply walking, bending down, even lifting. That movement of the body can be difficult and very painful. We're about to chat to rheumatologist Dr. Clive Pettifer on how we can deal with arthritis in its many forms and the different types of joint pain. Doctor, a very good morning. How are you?
No, I'm well, thanks, and how are you?
Very good, thanks.
Good, thank you. Doctor, so good to have you. What are the most common types of joint pain that people experience?
It's quite a diverse question, but a joint pain can possibly come from the cartilage. That's one of the most common places, or it can come from the lining of the joint called the synovium. It can come from the meniscus, which is like a shock absorber inside the joint. It can come from the surrounding bone, for example, a bone tumor, or if there's any type of vascular occlusion to the bone, what we call avascular necrosis. You can get bleeding inside a joint. And then it can also originate from the soft tissues around the joint that we call the entheses. So really, it generally requires investigation to determine exactly what the problem is so that you can treat it.
I think one of the most common culprits that most of us know about, at least, is arthritis. How does arthritis affect joints and create that joint pain specifically?
One gets various types of arthritis. And again, it's so vitally important to know what type of arthritis that you are dealing with. For example, if it's osteoarthritis, that's more of a wear and tear arthritis affecting the cartilage. Now, the cartilage is a slippery lining on both sides of the bone that allows one bone to slip over another bone inside your joint. If your arthritis, for example, is due to rheumatoid arthritis, which is really an immune disease, it's when your own immune system attacks your joint. We have fantastic medications to control that type of disease with really fantastic results. So our aim with rheumatoid arthritis is to be able to allow the patient to lead a completely normal life. Another common condition that I see a lot of is actually gout. Now, you may think that's not a serious problem, but a lot of people really get gout quite badly, what we call tophaceous gout, where you get buildup of crystals so that you start forming chunks of these deposits around your body. And really, it's a very treatable condition. And again, I can almost guarantee at the start that a patient is going to recover fully. You can give great reassurance that this is a very reversible condition. You get other types of arthritis called septic arthritis, where it's treated with antibiotics. It's so vitally important to know what you're dealing with. The term arthritis is an encompassing term. It's analogous to saying fruit. Fruit can be a banana, it can be an apple, it can be a pawpaw. And so one doesn't say, would you like some fruit? You need to say specifically, I will take that or this. And arthritis is the same. It's not acceptable, in my opinion, to say you're suffering from arthritis. It really doesn't tell you much.
What is actually going on? Yeah.
The question then is, at what point should one be seeing a doctor? When do you see a doctor when you have arthritis or any sort of joint pain?
Yeah.
Well, one thing about arthritis, it generally doesn't go away. So I tend to say to people, if your joint pain disappears, then it's probably not serious. If, however, it's persistent and certainly progressive, then you need to see a doctor and a rheumatologist, in fact. And probably the sooner you get to one, the better. We know from our research that patients who present early with rheumatoid arthritis, as an example, there's a window period of 3 months that if you start treatment in the first 3 months, you will actually do better than somebody who waits 6 months or a year. I would say you should get to a rheumatologist as soon as possible, certainly if the diagnosis is uncertain, and rather get going with your treatment because the outcome is going to be better.
It's very helpful to know that there are answers out there. Yeah. But thank you so much, Doctor. I found that hugely informative. I really do appreciate the way that you've broken that down for us and for your time this morning. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Oh, thank you very much indeed, Dr. Clive Pettifer. Now, Brufen can assist with a range of pain symptoms such as back and muscle pain, headaches and migraines, as well as dental pain, helping you where it hurts most.
Experiencing pain? Brufen works where it hurts. Brufen 200 and 400 milligram is not suitable for children under the age of 12 years.
The world of pain, the world of joint issues. And Jamie, you know, we've been on this fitness journey. You've obviously been on an incredible journey yourself, and I know all that impact comes with a bit of a cost. What has it been like for you?
I will say, though, that, you know, prior to losing weight, because I was much more heavy on my feet, I always used to have a lot of back pain or lower back pain. Now working out still contributes to that back pain because obviously a lot of muscle and strength training, but I do find that it's easing a lot because of the foods that I'm eating. So that is something you can also relate with, right?
Definitely. I think the foods do assist you, but I think for me personally, I've had so many issues, especially running down the mountain, hiking so often. The joint pain on my knees has been quite exceptional. So what I did find things like Barufen, which really just helped with that inflammation and allowed me to kind of just enjoy the mountain that much more. So a great tip to anybody else. And speaking of joint pain in humans, I think it's important to notice that everybody experiences this pain. So heading from joint pain in humans to joint pain in dogs, we're heading up with a doctor to see what's up.
Thank you so much for staying with your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, here on SABC3. So good to have you. Now, we are so excited to welcome our next guest back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show and certainly to your screens. Of course, it's the ultra cool Dr. Corinne Brink, the resident vet from Ultra Dog. And to kick things off, we're going to be taking a closer look at joint pain in pets because, sadly, arthritis is not only a common diagnosis in humans, but also our dogs. Dr. Corinne Brink, it's really so fantastic to have you back. But how do we recognize joint pain in our dogs and not just assume that they're aging?
When they're aging and they suddenly become slower and less inclined to move, it is usually joint pain and it is painful. So never just attribute it to my dog is aging and that's why we see in the signs. Osteoarthritis pets will suddenly move slower. They will have an aversion to movement and exercise. They will not want to climb stairs or jump on couches or maybe jump on your bed. Stuff that I used to want to do, they would suddenly not want to do, or suddenly they don't want to go for a walk. Also, they will lick their joints where it's painful. There may be a change in behavior. A dog that was usually placid is suddenly aggressive, or a dog that was hyper is suddenly very timid and shy. There can also be yelping when you touch certain body parts, and you may also see lameness or limping. Sometimes you will see all of this together, or sometimes you will only see one of these symptoms, and this can be indicative of osteoarthritis and joint pain.
So how can we treat and manage their symptoms? Is it a combination of, say, diet and supplements that are needed?
It's usually a combination. I always tell people when you have the right diet and supplements, it will mean that the medication that you give will be lower. So if you only focus on medication, it will need to be at high dosages to reduce the pain. But the moment you add a joint-friendly diet or an adequate supplement, you will still require medication, but it will be less.
Well, Dr. Brink, we know that Ultra Dog has a special diet range specifically for joint pains, but how does this food then help with the joint pain? What's the magic ingredient here?
I must be honest with you, I'm very excited about this diet and I'm getting so much good feedback on this diet because it really helps to keep those painful animals still ultra pets and ultra happy. What is different in this diet is that it has a reduced fat percentage because you definitely do not want your overweight pets to have joint problems as well because this will cause pressure on those joints. The next thing is we have the 3 very important ingredients that's specifically for joint health. The one is chondroitin. Now, chondroitin helps to reduce inflammation in your joints, and it also helps for joint repair. Then we have glucosamine, and glucosamine and chondroitin works together. So they have a synergistic effect, and they will definitely help together with cartilage repair and to reduce joint inflammation. And the one that makes us really stand out and is a really ultra cool ingredient because it's unique in our joint mobility range is the green-lipped mussel extract that is in our range. Now, green-lipped mussels have a very high level of omega-3s, And these omega-3s are a natural anti-inflammatory, and anti-inflammatories naturally reduces pain. So it's really a nice ingredient to have for those joints. And what is also a bonus of it, there has been certain studies that proved that green-lipped mussel extract helps to protect the tummies and will help those animals that need medication to prevent gastric ulceration in them.
It sounds fantastic, Dr. Corinne Brink. Now, this diet, can it be used as a precautionary measure for when our dogs become seniors, or is it best to only feed your dog when they've been diagnosed?
It can be used as a precautionary measure for sure. If you go and look at glucosamine and chondroitin, those ingredients take a long while to have effect. So if you have a pet that turns 7 years old and is in that senior range, you can definitely start with that diet. Or even if you have a large breed dog and you know that specific dog is prone to hip issues or elbow issues or anything like that, you can definitely already preemptively start on that diet as soon as the dog is an adult, 18 months to 2 years old.
So this next question, I know that for a lot of dog owners, it can be quite tricky here. When your dog's been diagnosed with osteoarthritis, should you be encouraging the dog to play and keep busy and moving, or should you really just be keeping it resting?
You know what, if you keep it resting, they will become overweight, and obviously there will be pressure on those joints. So the key here is moderation. You want to use the right exercises in moderation. For example, you won't want to go running on hard surfaces where there's going to be a lot of pressure on your joints. You would rather go for short walks, 15 minutes, instead of very intense exercise for 45 minutes. You would also maybe consider letting the dog swim. If you have a swimming pool or you have a hydrotherapist close to you, swimming is a great low-impact exercise for those dogs. And then obviously, if you've done exercise and you see the next day your pet is stiff and is painful, then you skip a day. You're never going to overtrain. You're rather going to do less is more, but you still want those joints to be kept going. You want the dog to be flexible. And obviously, exercise gives endorphins, and endorphins is going to make your pet happy, and you want a happy pet in the end.
Dr. Corinne Brink, you really are a dog's BFF, honestly, without a doubt. Thank you so much for all of this information. It's going to help so many people out there. You have been such an absolute superstar.
Thank you for having me. It was lovely.
I love it. Now, if your pet suffers from joint pain and you have more questions or concerns, you can engage directly with Dr. Corinne on the Ultra Pet website under the Ask Dr. Corinne section. So make sure you check it out, because Dr. Corinne is there for you and your dogs.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Hello, good morning. Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We're live, large and in charge. It's a Thursday morning. All kinds of deliciousness going on in the kitchen right now with Abigail Donnelly. Now, the big question to you at home, have you ever heard of a telefoon pudding? It's a very, very old Afrikaans dessert, and it comes from the days when people had party lines, they were called, that were connected through a central exchange or a phone system way back in the platteland. And a recipe would then be passed over the phone from one cook to the next. You're like, oh, operator, could you please connect me to Mevrouw de Villiers? And then the conversation would go. And in the background, you'd hear the Briel singing, Dit het gebeur op het trein naar Pretoria. Those times. And today we have a very special lady passing on a recipe to us, as I mentioned earlier on, the legendary Abigail Donnelly. Good to see you.
Ah, it's good to see you.
What a recipe you've brought.
I know, it's amazing. So what we did with this beautiful new issue of Taste, because it's winter and it's puddings and it's bread pudding and it's chocolate and orange pudding, Jean, who is a colleague at Taste, she did her Omar's pudding, which is a telephone pudding. And when you say that kind of system of the telephones, I remember growing up in Zim and often picking up the phone. I was like 13, like listening into conversations, but nothing was too...
Other people's conversations.
Other people's conversations.
Abigail,
I know, bad girl.
So by what you've just explained, one telephone pudding doesn't necessarily taste the same as another telephone.
Well, I wouldn't imagine it because I'm sure there's lost in translation down the line. So, but this pudding is a great pudding. So obviously it's been perfected over the years.
All right.
So this is to Jean's Omar.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Wonderful. Let's get started.
So it's really easy and it's accessible and it's kind of things that you've got in your pantry. So it's just butter and sugar. Altogether use quite a bit of sugar, but it's also kind of a self-sourcing pudding. So you've got your butter and sugar, and then you just cream it.
Yeah.
Until it's nice. I mean, you can do it by hand, you can do it with your electric mixer.
Your butter obviously at room temperature.
Always at room temperature. My little trick is that my granny taught me, my nana, was if you are quick and the sun's not shining and you can't put the bowl outside and you don't have a microwave these days, then you just grate your butter. And that helps it. Because, you know, sometimes you put it in, and I have done it myself, and you put in the hard butter and then your sugar and then like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're going to
that's, so I'm not going to do it like kind of like that.
There we go.
But it is chili in Cape Town, yeah.
It is extra chili.
Yeah, so obviously cream. I don't think we've got time for cream to make it really,
You know.
So it doesn't matter. So a nice wooden spoon, I don't have one on set, and then you just add your ingredients.
Which
I mean,
are,
it's really
as you
just
said,
plonk it all in. So
bit of milk over there?
Milk, yes.
We've got some eggs.
We've got some eggs, beautiful free-range eggs.
And what are...
And you don't even have to beat them all in, you know what I mean? It's just...
Yeah, I guess back in those days, you know, it was kind of much of a muchness.
Exactly.
You know, those are the ingredients. Gooi hulle by mekaar, Tannie, and do just, you know,
and
sit net in die oond. Dit gaan ou right wees.
And then you smother it with more custard and anyway, so it's going to be
Dit gaan alles in een darm in. Eet maar, is lekker.
Okay, and then also your beautiful spice. So you've got cinnamon, ground ginger, gemma, I think it is, gemma.
Yeah,
I mean, just smell that. I mean, it's just beautiful. I love ground ginger.
That smacks of winter, just winter comfort.
It is, hey, yeah. And then some nutmeg.
Beautiful.
And if you don't have all these, you can do mixed spice as well. And then bicarb. And then...
some appelkoos confit.
Yes, exactly. You can use a little marmalade. I made this pudding at the weekend and I chopped in some canned apples, unsweetened pie apples at Willie's, or pears, strained.
Okay.
So you can put that into the batter, and then you can add some raisins if you want, some sultanas, whatever, and then we just mix it up.
You've got to tell me while you were intruding on people's conversations and listening in at the age of 12.
No, don't tell me you wouldn't do that.
What? Maybe I might have. But what were some of the more interesting things you heard?
Oh my gosh, that was a long time ago. I was 12, 13. I can't even remember. It wasn't that exciting, because if it was exciting, I would have remembered.
Wow.
Anyway, so this is, so look how easy peasy this is.
Wonderful.
And then you just fold in the flour.
And the extra sugar and water that you've got over there,
so then we're going to do
that.
Look at that.
That looks, I mean, you didn't even have to cream it with the hand mixer.
No, you don't have to.
It kind
it's going to be
works itself in.
Exactly. Look at that. You've got a beautiful batter. So then just don't waste another bowl of cleaning it up. You've got some more sugar here. And I think that's a cup.
Baie seker.
Yeah. And some boiling water.
Okay. And that's going to create the
and that's
base
going to
sauce.
create, yes. And that's going to keep it nice and moist.
And then does your batter go in there?
Yes, you mustn't stir it in there. Because I kind of wanted to do that at the weekend, and then obviously read the recipe again. Thank goodness I didn't do that. So always follow a bit of the baking recipe. Other recipes you can just make your own, but baking is obviously a science, and so is this telephone pudding. And it looks really weird.
It does, doesn't it?
Look how funny it looks. It looks
I mean,
like,
we did a science experiment this morning, and it just looks like You've just dissected a few brains and mashed them up into...
I mean, yeah, if I didn't know any better and know that it actually came from Jean, I'd be like, my gosh, what's going on here in this recipe?
Hey, but the proof of the pudding is
I
in the
wonder,
eating,
you
right?
know what, I was wondering if you didn't want the sugar and the water, I wonder what it would work like with apple juice, maybe.
Ooh.
I think it would work.
Well, now you can
Apple
get creative. How about cranberry?
Lemon gold. Lemon gold juice.
Cranberry juice.
Lemon gold is
nice
enough.
and clear color as well.
Yes.
That could work quite.
And a little bit of lemon peel. You know, you can just make it your own. A little bit of lemon peel or, not lemon peel, zest or orange zest. Also nice.
That could work quite nicely.
And
then you
then
pop that in the oven
just-
for how long?
Then you just pop that in the oven. Oh,
45 minutes. Okay, well, listen, the recipe is on our website,
Yeah, I think mine was,
expressoshow.com.
it was 180 degrees, and I think it was about 35 minutes, but I could be
35
wrong.
minutes,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah.
'Cause you can
And then
imagine
just
that
and then it just bubbles all around the side. The sugar turns a light caramel, and
It's going to be beautiful,
There we have
moist inside.
there we
a
have. I'll pick this up for the
pudding.
camera. And this is a beautiful telephone pudding. And then, of course, you can have it with, but you must eat it warm.
Okay.
Because the sugar
important.
is going to crystallize.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
So you
telephone.
must eat it warm. Or if you're going to make it the day before, then warm it up in the oven.
Yes.
And then just smother it with this beautiful custard.
Look at that.
You can do the fresh custard or just vanilla ice cream or creme fraiche or cream.
Surely that's not enough custard, Abigail, is it?
Really? Okay.
I mean, what are we doing
When
here?
is it ever?
Are we
Yeah.
glazing with custard or not?
Yeah,
What is
exactly.
this?
And then you could put ice cream on top if you wanted. You know what would really be nice?
What?
Ideal milk.
Ooh, okay, all
I
right.
love hot pudding and chilled ideal milk.
And then while you're at it, then you
Look at that.
call all the family on the telephone and
Yes.
tell them about your wonderful telephone pudding. And you
Look how
can eat it
amazing that is.
while you speak to them on the telephone. Wonderful.
How beautiful.
Wonderful. Listen, tell me about the inspiration that we can find in the latest Taste magazine.
Okay.
Perhaps you want to maybe just
so,
page through some
so
of your,
it's
your
happy
favorites.
meals. So it's food that makes you happy through lockdown. Food always makes us happy, but it's really easy, accessible stuff. We've got winter puddings. We've got easy weekday solutions. Breads. I've done a whole 12-page story on breads, from beautiful brioche kind of mousse boulequets to a beautiful little kind of Irish soda bread, which needs no time rising. It's easy peasy. It went onto Instagram, and we had lots of followers that made it. That is the easy peasy one. And then like a nice challah, but it's really, it was just such a treat to be able to do a bread story, because usually we don't have the luxury, because we like to be kind of more accessible, quick. And this is time spent in the kitchen that you can do.
This is amazing.
And solutions. And then weekday, we've got a beautiful Middle Eastern story from Sophia Lindrop, who is a South African, but obviously heritage in Turkey. So we've got beautiful recipes that are really as easy. So it's full. We've got at the back page. Look at the back page.
Back page. Okay, let's go to the back page.
Look at that.
Taste tube, I like that.
Taste Tube, yeah. And that is obviously advertising our Taste Tube, where all our 101 videos are classics and inspiration. And that is a trifle. I mean, look at that. I think that's a vase. That will feed everybody on a good Sunday lunch. And there's a beautiful, Hannah Leary did a beautiful, simple chocolate cake, which you can turn into cupcakes as well. So it's all versatile, roast beautiful chickens. There's a tray chicken bake.
Your winter menu is sorted.
Yeah, there's the chocolate cake.
Dessert as
I mean,
well.
how amazing. And beautiful, just simple sponge that if you want to make into cupcakes as well.
Nom.
So it's, packed with inspiration, and we're just about putting our next one to print.
Wonderful stuff. Thank you very much, Abigail. And of course, if you like the recipe for this telephone pudding, you can check it out on our website, expressoshow.com.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Delicious.
Thank you.
So I'm chatting to Umalume Musa here. He's owned a small clothing factory for years now, and he's always inspired me with his success. But like a lot of businesses, this lockdown's hit him hard. So he spoke to his banker, and they've put together a tailor-made relief solution for him to help his business and his people get through this. Making your bank your business partner, that's a habit worth keeping.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Ache, okay. Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
I love that so much. It's such a warm
That's such a
greeting, it's like
nice,
welcoming.
nice Nedbank piece of ad there. I love it. Ache, Madume. It's good to have you back. Now, let's talk about fraud. It's a conversation we must have. Fraudsters are working overtime, and they're constantly, finding new and interesting ways to scam people. If you own a phone, you may fear that your phone being stolen or lost might be the worst thing. And that's why Nedbank are cautioning us to keep an eye out for SIM swap fraud, and we're here to show you what to look out for.
Absolutely. So SIM swap fraud, you might have heard about it, you might not have heard about it, wondering how it works. Well, fraudsters out there are finding ways in which to kind of bring all of your information together, right? And what they're doing is they'll call you pretending to be your bank, and then they'll ask for things like your ID number and your banking details. Oh, just to verify that they have everything, right? Yeah. But now the problem is that armed with your cell phone number, armed with your ID number and your banking details, they can now do a SIM swap that basically takes all of the information that is sent through to your SIM card to a phone on their end, so they can then make purchases online, and if a one-time password or one-time PIN is sent, it then obviously goes to their phone, or any kind of verification of a purchase online. If that's made, they then get all the information, and you wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know. This is absolutely insane. Okay. Wow. Okay, well, here's where it gets bad. Because they have your banking details and then they've got access to your cell phone number, now they can make all of those purchases.
Exactly.
It gets really, really bad. How do you protect yourself then? The moral of the story, there must be, a point to it.
Well, the moral of the story, never ever share any of your banking details or your PINs with anyone over the phone, even if they say that they are from your bank, and they can spin the most convincing story ever. Your bank will never request these details from you. And secondly, if your phone loses signal for a long period of time and it has nothing to do with load shedding or having no data, then please be alert and call your cell phone provider immediately to find out exactly what caused that. Because it could be that temporary breach when a SIM swap was done, and now you just think maybe your cell phone coverage has been limited in terms of where you are, but not the case.
Well, if you still are unsure, there is help out there, and there is contact numbers that you can contact. It's the Nedbank fraud line. They are on standby to help you out. The number to call is 0800 110 929. 0800 110 929. And of course, you can also report that fraud activity taking place on the Nedbank app.
Yeah, well, that's the real news out there about fraud. But right now, it's time for the fake news. Yeah, we're about to do it again. I've been looking forward to us getting back to normality, and as we have done so today, between 6 and 9, those are regular hours. We're back again, which gives us more time to have a bit more fun with you and everyone here in the studio as well. And of course, fake news is abound, guys. You know that, right? When you're scrolling through your timelines, you know that everything that you read isn't real, right? 2020 has been one of the craziest roller coaster years, and it's shown us flames. It's been absolutely madness. So the question now is, can you, Abigail, Jamie Lee and Ryle, tell the difference between the real and the fake? Can you?
Bring it, Kat, bring it.
Maybe. Let's find out.
Right. So here's how it's going to work. I am going to read you a couple of headlines and leave it then up to you to decide what is real and what is fake. Okay?
Yes.
Abigail, you look scared. Don't be scared. It's all right.
Well, I can't see the questions.
Don't worry. I'll read you the headline and then you decide. Okay, here we go. I've got a story coming in. Oh, wow. Okay, thank you very much, Robert. Now, a girl on TikTok put a harmonica in her mouth to be funny, but then it got stuck. That's one of the news headlines we've got for you. Oh, another story. Robert, thank you very much. You're right on the money. TikTok star becomes new sensation for posting videos of her cleaning her room. Which story is real?
I think the harmonica is real.
What do you say?
I'm going to go with harmonica as well. I think this day.
So she's playing harmonica and got stuck.
She's busy playing it now while she's breathing.
I will say that because the TikTok stars nowadays, again, they get famous for anything.
Yeah.
So cleaning your room, she probably went viral because of that, and now she's famous. So I'm going to say that's real, and I say the harmonica thing is fake.
Okay, well, here is the real story out there. A Canadian girl was admitted to hospital after getting an entire harmonica stuck in her mouth. Every time she added funny sounds, her mom recalls, and luckily she was able to get out and was not harmed. And when it comes to TikTok, nothing should surprise us these days. You got to be careful, guys. You know, when you see it, don't just try it. Make sure that you are safe out there. Okay, I've got another story for you. Robert, you're amazing. What a reporter. Thank you very much for that. A mother throws a $3 million baby shower for her best friend as an apology after a big fight, reads the headline. Robert has another story for us, everyone. Young people in Alabama are throwing coronavirus parties with a payout when someone gets infected. Which one is the real story here?
Gosh. Both could be so real.
I have so many questions.
A lot of questions. That is more than anything.
Coronavirus parties. Which one is real?
Oh, I'd love to believe that the baby shower is real and the other one's fake.
Because that woman could have been Kim Kardashian. I see where you've been.
Yeah.
That is the only reason why I say that is real. That's the only reason why.
So everyone's saying the $3 million baby shower is the real story?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well, here's the real news. I'm absolutely stunned to report that party goers in Alabama have in fact been found to be throwing coronavirus parties. What? Latsenwa? Local authorities have stepped in to put an immediate end to this ludicrous behavior. And to everyone at home watching, please, don't do that. It's never ever worth it, okay? Stay safe.
You get a corona, you get a corona, everybody's getting a corona. Like, what is even going on?
Stay sanitized. Stay sanitized. All right. Wow, we have another story. Robert, thank you very much. A massive bird was spotted carrying a shark in South California. Look at those pictures. Unbelievable. It was carrying a shark. What on earth is this? The bird carrying a shark. I mean, what are we doing in this life? Okay, that's the story. Oh, there's another story. Well, thank you very much. Robert, you're amazing. A friendly shark named Spike becomes best friends with diver in Honolulu, Hawaii. Huh? What? What? Which one is real?
I must just say, I've seen some crazy things in the mountain. I've seen what looked like a bird of prey picking up a dassie, and these things are massive. They're like little baby elephants.
I mean,
a shark, guys. I don't know.
It could have been a super royal eagle, you know.
A regal.
Oh, he went there. So which one is real? Which one is fake, guys?
Could be a baby shark.
I love that. Sorry, I laughed too hard at that. It wasn't that funny. Okay, which one is real?
The Honolulu friends with the shark, I think that's real. I think it's
definitely
fake for a radio.
Okay, well, here's the real story. A massive bird was, in fact, spotted carrying a shark. Okay, those are not fake pictures. I have no words. No words.
It's a baby.
No words. Just the video. Look at that. Is that even a real shark?
You can't even. No longer can you swim in the ocean, but you can't even be in the air. You're not safe anyway, guys. What?
How does that even happen? How does that even happen? Do you spot him from like a kilometer and just swoop in and shark for breakfast?
Also, what was Elsie White, the person who actually recorded that, posted that video? What was she doing in the air watching this eagle take out the shark? I have a lot of
Jamie
questions
Lee.
about all of these headlines.
That is the real story. Thank you very much, Robert. Well, there you have it for the wild, wacky, and damn right weird kind of news in the world right there. See you for another round of fake news next time. Thank you. Welcome back. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and it's a Thursday morning, yo.
Yes.
And we're having a good time, you know.
Bring it on.
Listen. We had an amazing time. When was it? Was it yesterday?
Yeah.
We had a look back at some of our baby pictures, and you know we kind of judged each other a little bit, but it was all in the good spirit of just celebrating ourselves. And you know that's little me.
Katlego, my boy.
With little Ryle over there.
Yo, G out in the hood.
Jamie, look at little Jamie.
Jamie Lee Domberg.
The draggery yesterday.
Tubby with his...
that's me.
They said you look like a strict baby.
Yeah, someone said I look like a strict baby. What's a strict baby?
Handing down the discipline. Baby Clem. Baby Clem. So cute right now. Oh, cool. Let's look at some of the pictures that you sent us that we really were excited to see. So what did you send us? Have a look. Nutty. This is Nutty.
Oh, wow.
Oh, so she like because you did ask that they send us a kind of like a before and after.
Before and after.
Kind
The
of
glow
vibe.
up is real.
I still can recognize her. And
This is Lynn Curran. Good morning, Expresso. I just went digging this photo out. Well, you found it. There it is. Nice.
Nice.
Obvious.
I like the consistency, Lynn. You really look good as a kid and as well as now.
Your genes have maintained their work.
Yes, they have. Kayla Reuters, from a baby to a lady. I remember this. This is so cute. Look at that.
There's like smiling eyes throughout.
Yes,
Love
that's
that.
it.
Notice the color trend there, so pink on pink, keeping
Pink on
it clean.
pink.
You are definitely Pinky Gal.
Who else do we have? AJ Josephs, there we go. Hi, this is you guys are so adorable. Yes, thank you. Love the energy. I trust everyone is coping under the pandemic. Please stay safe. So this is AJ, me at 4 years old and then at 21.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Epic.
Zenzile Zakwe saying, looking so cute and funny. Obviously, as a kid on the right-hand side.
Zenzile looks like
a little boy.
it looks like Zenzile and you could have been partners in crime in the strict baby department.
Definitely.
Me, Maggie.
I can totally see Zenzile as a kid being my BFF.
Hey, who's this?
This is Gershwin in the building here. That cutie pie turned into something suave.
I love that looking away picture. Do we have another one?
Joan Cameron.
Hi, Joan.
Here's a pic of me as a toddler, and my profile
Joan?
pic is me today. Hey,
Joan left your group of babies and finally joined us and started smiling. She left your
Definitely a strict baby too. Josephina.
Josephina.
The way back and now. No, but Josephina, you were not a child.
Well,
before.
this is like yesterday and today.
Yeah. Josephine basically changes her wig and then she says, there you go.
But thank you for those pictures, Josephine. I think we have another one. This is
Lindsay.
Oh, look at that. Some of 3 stages. Boom, boom, boom. Lovely stuff from 2002 to
It's a
2019.
cute baby.
Oh, there's another one. Wow. This is Nicole. Beautiful. So cute, eh? It's wonderful to be able to look back at these memories. Do we have another one?
Oh, look at those cherry curls out there.
Who is this?
This is Princess.
Oh, Princess.
Miss Peterson. Lovely stuff. The hair. Keeping that energy going. Wonderful stuff. Please continue to share those with us. It makes us feel rather closer. Yeah. And I think someone that we all wish we were closer with right now, especially on this very special day, is none other than Kutle Adams, who celebrates her birthday.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Kutle.
Thank you guys so much.
How's it been? How's the morning turning out?
Pardon?
How's the morning turning out? You know we've been here since 6 o'clock. Were you awake at full time?
I understand that, Jay. It's so hectic for you guys, but I'm just glad that I get the extra time to just gear up and prepare my body for 6 o'clock.
Happy birthday. How are you spending the rest of your birthday today? What are you going to do? You got plans?
With this little guy over here, the whole day.
Who this? Who that be?
The nephew.
And my niece went to school. I'm just like with my family, and we're just about to, well, not about to have cake, but we're just preparing for the day. We're just planning on having a movie night and having popcorn, eating sweets, and just chilling.
Family values.
Miss you
Love it.
so much. Can I also tell you this? Tabisa was early this morning, which is because you were not here. So I just wanted to let you know that Tabisa was very early this morning. And I miss you so much.
What's happening in the background there?
Celebration.
No, Sam, he's seeing himself on TV now. He's coming back to say hello, and he's going.
Oh, man. We love you, Kuhle. Happy birthday. You are what, 24 today? Wow.
Pardon?
24 years old, baby girl.
A whole 24 years old, guys. I'm a year away from 25, meaning I'm closer to 30. Ultimately, round that off to 40. It's late.
It's like downhill from here, it seems.
What on earth? No.
We love you, man. Happy birthday.
Yeah, it's been absolutely wonderful. Listen, enjoy the family time and have a wonderful birthday celebration. See you soon. Good day. Bye.
Cheers, guys.
Oh, hold on. Don't drop the line because Clem has something special to say to you. Clem, what's up?
Happy birthday, I'm 24. Takalani Sesami.
I'm about to drop the call right now.
What is it? Wow. She's so young.
Oh! I don't know the words. All right, Clem, listen, what are you cooking on Facebook, Clem?
So Mo's going to be with me in the kitchen. We're doing Facebook Live. 2 chefs in the kitchen, South Africa. Ask us all your questions. But we're going to be tempering everything from avo to broccoli to chocolate.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Tempered chocolate, that's amazing. Make sure you catch it on Facebook Live. Of course, we'll see you again bright and early tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock. Have a wonderful day. We love you. Make someone smile.
Ciao, ciao.
Yeah, we're going to see what we've got. We've got all the like primary.
Expresso Show, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.